Welcome back to the party, everybody. This is Morty, and I am your host, Lush, aka TheIndianJesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Everybody hit that like and subscribe. You know I would do it for you, and let's party. Welcome, everybody. A shout out to Liberty Plus TV in the building. Welcome. We also got our boy, Guam Tech. Welcome to the party. Very good to see you guys. We're going to have some fun tonight. If you didn't know, tomorrow I will be debating Made by Jim Bob right here on this channel, as well as the Speakeasy channel, 8 p.m. Eastern, on whether or not it is rational to be an atheist. And you should definitely come through. But I figured before that, let's have a little bit of fun. Unfortunately, I was not able to make it to Debatecon this year as I was last year, but they have started, shout out to Modern Day Debate, have started releasing, the debates, and the first one that I saw was just fantastic. So we are going to start there. We could never forget about the Rage page. Welcome to the party. And Steve in the building. How are we doing? Context had liked and shared. Oh my goodness, guys, you know how much that stuff really does help, and it's free and it's easy and it helps out the channel so much. It doesn't even matter if you think anybody's going to click on the link that you shared. Just by you telling the platform you want more people to see it, they will show it to more people. Thank you. Let's dive right in. We have Andrew Wilson versus Daniel Muslim guy, and it gets bad. Now, typically, I'll go like this for the verticals. Again, if you are on the vertical stream and you don't like the vertical stream, hit the pinned link and you will be back on the normal stream. Typically, I skip the opening, the opening statements for these, but we ain't gonna do that, and you're gonna be very happy. Let's do it. As always, guys, if you cannot hear the video, please do let me know.
15-minute opener. Thanks for being with us.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
1 second.
Let's speed this up a little bit.
Just a quick note. I want this to be a civil debate because right now there's a massive Zionist campaign to generate as much hostility between Muslims and Christians as possible. If I can say something nice about Andrew, I respect him for not being a shill for Israel. I think we can be civil, but also very critical of each other's religions without it turning vicious. The only ones who benefit from a Muslim-Christian civil war right now is Israel, which is stoking hate so that they can continue their genocide of both Muslim and Christian Palestinians while they bleed America dry. Let's keep that larger context in mind. So the first slide, which is best for society, Islam or Christianity? Next slide. The answer depends on which standard we use to judge, traditional or secular liberal values. Traditional values include belief in God, prayer, marriage and gender roles, opposition to degeneracy, and commitment to nation and shared culture. Secular liberal values include individual freedom, gender equality, sexual autonomy, scientific progress, and economic advancement. If we judge by traditional values, Islam beats Christianity hands down. If we judge by secular liberal values, Christianity comes out on top. The reason for this is that Christianity, since the Enlightenment, has been reformed and adopted liberal values while eroding traditional ones.
Yeah, it has, hasn't it?
This is because Christianity is more open to evolving in a way that Islam isn't. My opponent, Andrew Wilson, claims to be a traditional Christian, but we'll see if he'll debate like a traditional Christian or like a blue-haired libtard.
All right, that's funny.
If he debates as a traditional Christian,
Andrew
he should defend Christianity. He should defend Christianity as understood before modern liberal reforms. For example, even though he's Orthodox, I doubt he'll defend Byzantine Orthodox norms, such as theocratic monarchy, the monarch's authority to define church doctrine, slavery, book bans and speech restrictions, death penalties for blasphemy, apostasy, and pagan worship, restrictions and bans on loaning money with interest, minimum marriage age of 12, bans on divorce, mandatory veiling of women with unveiled women labeled as prostitutes, lashes for fornicators, punishing married adulterers by cutting off noses or sewing them into sacks and burning them alive, execution for homosexual acts, limits on Jews through bans on Jewish proselytizing and building new synagogues. If we look at a timeline of Christianity, for 1700 years, Christianity upheld its pre-modern norms of slavery, female subordination, monarchy, punishments for blasphemy, executions for adultery. After the Enlightenment, Christians began reforming their religion to match secular values, and that liberalizing process continues today with the acceptance of homosexuality, LGBT rights, and modern feminism. Even though he's a conservative, Andrew already accepts huge chunks of this liberal reform. He's fine with abolishing slavery, rejecting monarchy, ending...
That's a weird thing. This guy's okay with abolishing slavery. Shout out to Liberty Plus TV. Welcome. Or should I say, Dr. Nick Welcome. We got Mad Rush in the building. This guy's an idiot. I agree. Let's get into it. Welcome. Let's get the chat up there and let's rage.
Chunks of this liberal reform. He's fine with abolishing slavery, rejecting monarchy, ending blasphemy, and adultery punishments. His conservatism simply draws an arbitrary line at a later stage, roughly 1950s America. But libtard progressives follow that same reform trajectory, just a few stages or steps further. Andrew isn't defending traditional Christianity, he's defending his preferred arbitrary stopping point on a progressive path he already agrees with. In other words, the difference between him and the libtards is quantitative, not qualitative. Just a dispute over where to halt the same ongoing cucking to secular liberalism.
So his argument so far is that, well, I mean, Andrew's kind of a degenerate in the way that Muslims are, but not completely. He likes some of modernity, so that's bad. That's the argument so far. Liberty just kind of proves that Christianity can adapt with current norms. Seems like a positive thing to me. And yes, for those who don't know, yes, I am an atheist. As I just told you, I was going to be having that debate. But very clearly, I am happy to be living in America where most people, most laws, most norms are based in Christianity. And so even though I don't believe in the truth claims, that doesn't mean I think Christianity is a bad thing. And certainly if we're comparing Islam and Christianity, there's no comparison. Shout out to equality and deference because vagina over on Rumble. Welcome. Said, holy shit, Andrew isn't hardcore enough. Yeah, I did not expect to see that. But here we are. We also got Carl's Frosted Tips getting us started with the Morty Memorial Fund. Of course, he is alive and well, but with the $2. Thank you so very, very much. That's right. Every donation comes with a treat for Morty. And guys, he was sick today. That is the first thing that he has eaten. I gave him his food. He just didn't want to eat it. Carl, thank you. Said Islam fucking sucks. We need to deport all immigrant Muslims because they will not conform to the American way. Also, hi, Morty. He says hi as well. Welcome. And equality again. Liked and shared again, guys. That stuff is free. It's easy. It's so very helpful to the channel. And it doesn't even matter if you think anybody's going to click on the link. Thank you. We also got our boy, Kobe. Welcome. Let's dive right back in, guys.
Dispute over where to halt the same ongoing cucking to secular liberalism. So Andrew's conservatism is not principled. It's arbitrary. Given this, I predict Andrew will debate like a blue-haired libtard today and use a pro-liberal strategy against Islam. Because, again, Christianity can't beat Islam on tradition.
So wait, what is this little comic going on here?
Against Islam.
Secularism gives women even more rights than Christianity. True, but not necessarily a good thing, but okay.
Because, again, Christianity can't...
And Cucked Andrew said Christianity gives women more rights than Islam. Something tells me that is not quite the argument that Andrew's going to make, but let's see. And no, I mean, I saw clips of this online, but I have not seen any of this. So whatever's about to happen, we are about to experience it together.
Beat Islam on traditional values for the simple reason that Islam isn't amenable to reform the way Christianity is. So he'll likely attack Islam exactly like a blue-haired alphabet person would by calling Islam backwards on marriage, gender roles, and scientific and economic progress.
Islam bad.
But
also, Islam's pretty bad.
Andrew attacks Islam using secular liberal values, he faces a dilemma. Because tomorrow he's debating an atheist on whether Christianity or secular liberalism is better for society. So any pro-liberal standard that Andrew uses to judge Islam today, tomorrow that same liberal standard can be used by his atheist opponent to judge Christianity. For example, if he says Christianity is better than Islam because it gives women more rights and promotes more scientific progress and health, the atheist can argue that secular liberalism does even more of those things. Andrew knows this, so against the atheist...
Well, there you go. If that is not a ringing endorsement... There you go. We about to get into it.
Atheist tomorrow, he'll likely revert back to a traditional Christian stance, highlighting issues like LGBT, incest, and low birth rates. I'm not singling out Andrew. All Christian debaters code switch. They know Christianity isn't as based as Islam on traditional values, nor as progressive as secularism on liberal values. Christianity is stuck in the middle between traditionalism and secularism. So to win against either Islam or secularism, Christians have no choice but to code switch depending on who they're debating.
Thank you. Equality said that secularist in the slideshow is Richard Carrier. Don't know, because as will be a big part of my argument tomorrow, against Jim Bob that I don't really spend a lot of time thinking about my atheism specifically. I think about morality. I think about culture. I think about a lot of things. But the fact that I do not believe in God is not a big part of what takes up my time.
Putting aside this conceptual problem with Christian apologetics, how do we know that Islam is better for society than Christianity? Again, it depends on what values we adopt. Muslim and Christians generally subscribe to traditional values.
Oh, man. Andrew, please, please, please do not make me walk away from this agreeing with the Slims. I don't want to agree with the Slims. But if he goes down this road, it's not going to be good. Shout out to Never Lucky Rubber Ducky. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. Yes, indeed. Me and Made by Jim Bob tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, I think, right? Whenever Swords of Reason usually is. Be here. Hit the bell and you will not miss it. Rage Face said Daniel's only no spoilers. Let's watch it together.
In fact, all humans.
Hey, we got Angry Amputee in the building. Very good to see ya.
Due to biology, inherently value things like belief in a creator, marriage, family, and community. So let's see whether Islam or Christianity is better at promoting these things in society using the abundance of empirical data available. Let's start with a bird's eye view using the World Values Survey, a global project measuring beliefs, values, and cultural changes in over 100 countries. Their World Cultural Map from 2023 groups countries by religion. Protestant European countries are yellow, Orthodox is red, European Catholics are green, Latin America in light blue, and Islamic countries in gray. On the x-axis, countries that value individual self-expression and autonomy are further right on the graph. On the y-axis, countries that are more secular or higher up. The ones that have more traditional values are lower. So you can see in the bottom left, there are the Islamic countries that are more traditional, whereas the Christian countries are more secular and value individual autonomy. How about belief in God? Muslim countries show higher religiosity and belief in God than Christians.
Yeah, it's almost like a lot of people who call themselves Christians don't actually believe in God. Shout out to King Nirvana. Welcome to the party. Yeah, so as it's always been, the prompt for that I will be debating Jim Bob is that it is rational to be an atheist. So all I've got to show is that it is not irrational. I can be wrong. It just has to be a rational position, and I win. Welcome to the party.
About belief in God. Muslim countries show higher religiosity and belief in God than Christians, than Christian ones. For example, Pew Research asked people in different countries if they believe in God. For nearly all the Muslim countries, the number was 100%.
He's like, he's got the data. Stealing that.
Such an extent that Pew...
Hey, we got Abe Dinkus in the building. Welcome. Very good to see you, sir. How are we doing?
All the Muslim countries, the number was 100%. To such an extent that Pew concluded that nearly all Muslims surveyed believe in God. Another Pew data set shows Muslim countries, Bangladesh, Indonesia, Malaysia.
I'm sure that has nothing to do with the fact that they will kill you if you say no, but...
At the top of global belief rankings, while Christian countries are split with Kenya, Ghana, and the Philippines high, but the US, Spain, and France low.
Yeah, because we're smarter than you.
What about religiosity? On this map, all Muslim countries are dark purple, showing the largest share of religious followers. Christian countries, except Latin America, are much lower, like the US, Europe, and Russia. Pew studied how important religion is to people's lives. And for Muslim countries, they're dark yellow, indicating 80 to 100% of people saying religion is very important to them, while most Christian countries are much lower in gray and blue. The 2024 Integrated Values Survey confirms this. In majority Muslim countries like Indonesia and Egypt, over 97% say religion is very important, whereas in Christian countries like Mexico, the US, Russia, and Germany, religion matters far less.
Robert said, Sam Shamoon, whose entire identity is to put the Muzzies down a peg, even agreed that the Muzzy that he won the debate solely on the fact that cousin marriage specifically isn't in the Bible. What? Meaning that he's like, well, you guys do it too. Is that what you're saying? Yikes. Weak argument. Shout out to Marilyn. God herself in the building. Welcome.
Another key metric is religious switching. Pew shows Christianity in red has the largest net loss of followers, while Islam in green has the highest net gain from conversions.
And again, I wonder if that has anything to do with the fact that they will kill you.
I think you're pretty behind on the slides. Yeah, there it is. All right. Now let's look at family and gender roles. Muslim societies have higher rates of marriage than Christian societies. Notice how the percentage of married individuals of both Muslim women and men, indicated by the red and blue arrows, is higher than Christians, since Christians are more likely to delay or forego marriage. We can also look at divorce laws. Christian countries mostly allow no-fault divorce, while Muslim countries often have fault-based divorce or other limitations on women. When it comes to fertility.
Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. This opening was a lot funnier when I was watching it at 2x. So put a 1 in the chat if you want to skip to Andrew's opening, which is definitely funny. Shout out to Adam, captain of the Moral Felon crew. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. Very interesting. Said Islam can be moderate as long as it's the dominant religion. Interesting. The fact that it's interesting because I think you're right, but obviously anywhere it's the dominant religion, it is not moderate. But I think you're right. I think you're right. So Rage Page wants to say. Nobody wants to skip? All right, cool.
Pew Research shows that Muslims are at 2.9 globally, whereas Christians are at 2.6. And even when you break it down by region, Muslims in Europe, the Asia Pacific, and Sub-Saharan Africa have more children than their Christian counterparts. Muslims also have the largest families by household size, at 6.4 members per household compared to 4.5 for Christians. Due to both higher birth rate and higher net conversions, Islam is the fastest growing religion projected to meet and exceed the Christian population in 25 to 50 years.
I wonder if that has any, you know what, number.
How about sexual behaviors? Research in American Sociological Review show Muslims, due to religious conviction, are less likely to have premarital or extramarital sex than Christians. Some Christians might claim this is only due to self-reporting bias because Muslims are less likely to admit to engaging in these behaviors, but we can account for this by benchmarking against other.
What's that word? We were just talking about it with in Islam. There is a notion, there's a rule, there's a something where you're allowed to lie to outsiders to make sure that Islam looks good. There's a specific word for it, and I forget what it is, but it's built into the faith. Make us look good. No, jihad is that's just the struggle. The struggle between, you know, the self and the whatever they say is the reason that they can kill people and stuff. But no, I'm sure it'll come up. I'm sure it will come up. But if not, we definitely have to. It's just the notion that it's more important to make Islam look good than true. It's more important to make the Muslim religion look good than it is to be truthful. That's a tenet of Islam.
Variables like medical abortions and death rate from HIV/AIDS, which directly correlate with extramarital sex. Data shows abortion rates are highest in Christian regions, and death from AIDS are highest in Christian countries in Africa, Russia, and Latin America, but lowest in North Africa, the Middle East, and other Muslim regions. Regarding acceptance of homosexuality, Pew shows Christian countries are far more accepting, even after controlling for economic factors. Regarding attitudes towards gender equality, World Value Survey asks whether men make better leaders than women, do men have more of a right to a job than women, etc. They took the answers to these questions.
Yes, there you go. Taquilla, just like taquitos. There we go. I'm gonna remember that. But yes, we will look that up because that is a real thing. But first, we gotta shout out our boy Funk Master General with the big 10 gifted memberships, of course. A treat for Morty. Oh, you know, feeling well. All right, we'll leave it there for him. He's having a little bit of an upset stomach today, but we will make sure he gets everything he needs. Thank you so very much. Remember, if you got a gifted membership, you are now part of the membership on our Discord, and I will drop the link if you are in the vertical stream right now. If you're on the regular stream, it is already pinned to the top of the chat. And Marilyn is going wild with all of these jewels. I don't even know what jewels are, but we got 8-10 time combos, whatever that is. Dilly to that. Thank you guys so very much. Thank you. And of course, guys, that gets us started with the Morty Memorial Fund. We are already over $600. Let me do some math here. I'll get you guys back in. Thank you so very much, sir. And welcome to the party.
Do men have more of a right to a job than women, etc.? They took the answers to these questions to create a grading system which shows that Muslims are far below Christians. Now, if we were a bunch of liberal simps, we would count this in favor of the Christians. But since we're all red-pilled, we recognize that the Muslim countries are based and the Christians are simping. Same when it comes to other gender equality metrics. Christian countries, whether in the West or Latin America, Russia, value gender equality more than Muslims. That's a bad thing for many reasons. Looking at other societal health metrics, research shows Christian countries have much higher rates of alcohol and drug abuse.
Shout out again to the sponsor of the stream. Very much appreciated, sir.
For economic differences, Muslim countries have lower homicide rates than Christian countries. Stephen Fish's book, Are Muslims Distinctive?, shows per capita murder rates are significantly lower in Muslim countries. Female homicide rates are also lower. Rates of rape and sexual violence are likewise lower in Muslim countries and highest in Christian.
Okay, yeah. Is that because it's just a normal Tuesday and there's nothing to report because that's just how you do things? You honestly want me to believe that rape statistics are lower in Muslim countries? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Shout out to Section 230. Welcome to the party. Indeed, it is garbage. And yeah, obviously, I wonder if that has to do with the fact that they will kill you. It's almost like you can get people to say whatever you want them to say at the threat of death.
Countries. Multiple studies show that the suicide rate for Muslims is much lower than Christians. These stats show how Islam outperforms Christianity in upholding religion, marriage, family, and community, making Islam better for society. We can examine why Islam consistently excels in these areas. First, Muslims are...
Yeah, rage... Excuse me, Jesus. Rage Page said the Quran and Islamic teachings generally condemn lying, but permit it in a few circumstances, such as to reconcile people for deception in war, and which they believe is constantly happening. You know, the jihad is currently consistently happening. So lying is okay. And yeah, and to appease one's spouse and to maintain peace. In other words, if I feel like it. Bullshit. So yeah, all of these numbers are based on, well, we can lie if we want to, or if we need to.
We can examine why Islam consistently excels in these areas. First, Muslims are much more attached.
Opening statements don't count for that, but kind of.
To religion than Christians because Islam is more compelling and intuitive than Christianity. For example, monotheism is easier to grasp than the Trinity. Islam is also more historically preserved, carbon dated.
It's easier because you're stupid. 3 is too many for the Slims.
It confirms that the Quran Muslims read today traces to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. By contrast, the Bible has evolved through layers of editing and reflects the theology of Paul far more than the teachings of Jesus. Islam also better preserves traditional life and family through a clear, comprehensive system of Sharia.
As I said the other day, I came across the best description / argument against Islam I've ever heard. It was from Saint Don Bosco. Well, let me get a look at that.
Christianity, by contrast, offers only broad, highly malleable principles that different Christian groups interpret in conflicting and often contradictory ways. A Christian rebuttal could be that even if Islam excels at traditional values, it falls short on secular ones like individual freedom,
Yeah, right? It's like, where's the number on goat fucking? I bet you guys win that one, too.
Expression and scientific or economic progress. Christianity, they could argue, wins overall because it blends the best of both worlds, preserving core morals while still enabling the modern achievements of the Christian West, more freedom, science, technology, and higher GDP. This argument has fundamental problems, however. First, is Western prosperity due to Christianity or secularism? For example, how much of Western greatness comes from pre-Christian traditions like Greece and Rome? Furthermore, if Christianity drives prosperity, why haven't the oldest Christian nations like Ethiopia and Armenia matched the West's success? Likewise, recently Christianized societies like El Salvador and the Philippines have no comparable prosperity. Finally, why do more devoutly Christian societies have higher poverty and violent crime than more secularized Christian ones? Therefore, it's far from clear that Christianity is the secret sauce to scientific and economic progress.
I wonder if it has to do with the fact that if you commit a crime, they won't kill you!
But there's a deeper problem.
And yes, I will be doing that all night.
Traditional and secular values never works. It's like mixing paint and paint thinner. Whenever societies try to combine traditional and secular values, traditional values get abandoned. This is actually what has happened in the West, which was deeply Christian 200 years ago, but now has become the center of atheism and secular decay. This didn't happen overnight. This happened because Christians 150 years ago tried to mix traditional Christianity with the secular idea of progress. This happens because traditional values are based on duties. Preserving religion requires imposing duties on people to worship. Preserving family requires imposing duties limiting sexual freedom and providing care for children and the elderly. Preserving a nation requires duties to uphold shared norms, honor national symbols, or limit immigration. So preserving traditional values necessitates all these duties. The problem is duties are hard work.
All right, we get it. He thinks Islam is better.
Duties doesn't have family and liberal behind society. You'll check already adopted liberal sect and radical thing and won't slow Islam by structure preserving it and technical.
All right. We get it. So Andrews is really the one
And
where
by
I was
the
like, usually I skip the openings, but let's just get it.
Timer set for you, Andrew, on your first word.
You're just like, Akbar.
Good job, man. The fun thing about debate is you get to actually get in the mind of your opponent. What? What happened? Oh. The fun thing about debate is you get to actually get in the mind of your opponent. You get to study and dissect the things that they say and believe. After watching Daniel for hours, a few things became obvious. The first, he's a far better Muslim apologist than I am a Christian apologist, that's for sure. But he's far weaker on politics than myself and the nature of the world. The second is that he's an above average debater, but he ain't quite God tier. See, if I were Daniel and fighting from his worldview, I'd point out Christianity is fractured and weak, that Christianity is totally incapable of fighting back against the degeneracy of our time. Its impotence has led to social categories of degeneracy at levels nobody could have predicted, especially with the advent of the internet. I would point out Muslim societies don't work that way, that Muslims have feminism and degens under control, that everything in modern day Christians in the West are fighting for against degeneracy, Islam has already achieved in their lands.
Real quick, I saw someone somewhere talking about like that people are commonly talking about IQ and that IQ isn't necessarily this. Like, guys, it's just guy meaning the person that made the video. Like, it's a colloquial way of talking about somebody saying they're stupid. That just means they're stupid. That doesn't mean that you actually think they took a test and their score is low. Jesus. Shout out to Boo. Boo. I'm gonna call you Boo. Welcome, Boo. Said Islam is right about women. Yikes. If you believe that, then Andrew might not have as easy of a time here, but we will see. Welcome to the party. Low IQ is just low understanding. Yeah, that's all we mean. That's
what I would do if I were Daniel. When talking about which is better for society, Islam or Christianity, this becomes a powerful argument. But I'd go a step further if I were Daniel. I'd also say my opponent will argue like an atheist progressive. That Andrew Wilson, the guy who promotes anti-feminist and egalitarian doctrine, is going to sit up here and act like an egalitarian progressive and cry about Islam being mean to the women and cry about Islam not being very nice to the gays. Well, you were fucking wrong.
Yeah, right. Why would you even think that he would care about that?
Sadly for Daniel, while this tactic would normally be effective against a sewing circle Christian, I'm not part of that cast, sir. Now, let me get into my argument for why Christianity makes better societies than Islam, and it's pretty simple.
And again, guys, as an atheist, there is no question. There is no question that between the two, there is no competition between what makes a better society, Christianity or Islam. It is Christianity, full stop. I don't even know how he's going to argue this, but that doesn't make it true. But it's way better. Shout out to Giggling Spy. Welcome to the party. Bold move to name Armenia? I don't know what you mean. Welcome.
Islamic societies breed an inbred population. Next slide, please.
That's where I'm at, but that's not on the table yet.
Muslim inbreeding has been occurring at a high rate for about 1,400 years since the early Islamic period, encompassing most of the land still occupied by Islam today. It spread from the 8th to the 15th century, moved into Persia, North Africa, South Asia, where it remains and has created some of the dumbest fucking human beings on planet Earth. The most common type of inbreeding is first cousin marriage. The rates of first cousin marriage in comparison to Christian nations is staggeringly high, even in comparison to regions occupied by Arab Christians. When a nation has both Christians and Muslims, Muslims are often double or higher than Christians. Example, India, Lebanon. Next slide, please. Muslim inbreeding. Oh, sorry about that. Pakistan at 65%. 65%.
Yikes. Yeah, Section 2 there said most atheists refuse to admit that, though. I assume you're saying that Christianity is clearly better at building society than Islam. Yeah, that's why the atheist stereotype right now is in the fucking gutter, but I'm doing my level best to try to fix that. Section goes on to say they hate Christianity so bad they can never admit anything good about it, even to the point of supporting Islam. It's pretty wild. And that's because a lot of them are just woke and the first level thinking of, well, my parents were mean and said that I shouldn't be doing the things that I want to do because of God. Therefore, Christianity must be the worst thing in the world. It's literally just first order thinking. And like I said, I'm doing my level best. Joe's in the building. Welcome. Said one thing is super true. These sewing circle Christians or rhinos would be scared to make an argument like this. Bingo. Yep. And that is why we are in a different realm of debate. And this is why even a year ago, I was frustrated with the atheists because they were still making the same types of arguments against the sewing circle Christians. And there's people like Andrew now. They don't care about that shit anymore. You gotta update yourself with the times. Welcome to the party, guys.
Pakistan at 65%. 65%, meaning...
Wait, 65% of them are married to a first cousin?
What? Oh, hell no.
I knew it was bad, but 65%? God damn. Shout out to JL. Welcome to the party. Said, remember, it's queers for Palestine, bro. Queers for Palestine. Don't forget, is that on here? That's not on here, but same thing. $3, 6 pencils. Welcome. Said Christianity is reliant on presupposition, not logic. No reason to join your cult, and I don't believe the threat. It ain't my cult. Like I said, I'm the atheist. I got my Atheist for Liberty sticker, my pin right here, representing every single day. And I am going to be debating Andrew's little minion made by Jim Bob tomorrow. So don't loop me in with them. But let's not forget what Islam really is. And in case you did, we don't have to say that Christianity is A-okay and great and perfect in order to say that Islam is way worse. Yep, Gorilla Nuts. That is why they have so many birth defects. Welcome to the party. Yeah, them and liberal women. That's the only thing they've got in common. Rich said we're likely the only place that outlaws incest. Well, I mean, some states. Not all of them are there yet, but you know, we've definitely got a better percentage than the most countries.
At 65%. 65%, meaning more likely than not, you're having sex with your cousin, and if you're not, you're the weird one.
Good luck with that, buddy. Good luck with that.
For the low IQ members of MDD, that means these people are more likely than not having sex with their aunts or uncles' children. Saudi Arabia, 50 to 58%, with an average 76 IQ. Who would have thought it? UAE, 54%, 82 IQ. The crown jewel of the Arab world, you are more likely than not to be banging your first cousin. Iran.
Now, this is why I keep saying to all the Christians, like, yeah, it's all fun and games, talk about this and that and that and that. But we are all part of the secular world, as this Muslim just showed you, that even the most ardent, religious purveyor or whatever the fuck you want to call Andrew. Maybe he's not the most, but, he's on a roll right now. Even he is just part of the secular world to them. And again, he's just some debater guy. But he believes in all the violence that other people in other countries are happily waiting to come here and do. So like Roland say, they don't stop once they hit Europe. Be ready. And like I said, the atheists, we will. Well, I can't speak for anybody else, but I will definitely have your back, Christians. I don't know if you would have mine, but I will have your back when the jihadists come.
Are more likely than not to be banging your first cousin. Hurrah! Iran, 40%. 80 IQ. Yemen, 45%, 62.9 IQ. Qatar, 30%, 80.8 IQ. Now, we're going to continue, right? Oman, 36%, 78.
Yeah. Who was it? Not Gorilla. It's Christian. $3, 6 pencils. Equality and deference over on Rumble said you're right on that one. Christians love to take credit for everything good that happens in the same zip code as Christians. True.
Syria, 39%, 74 IQ. Turkey, 25%, 86 IQ. Jordan, 32%, 80 IQ. Egypt, 32%, 76 IQ. It goes on and on and on, and it just never gets better. Next slide, please. Thank you. Compared to Christian countries, let's take a look. Usually less than 1%. Now, I wonder why Christians build better societies, ladies and gentlemen. Now, let's keep going. We want to pull up the slide here. Moving right along.
Jesus H. Chris. Welcome to the party. How are you doing? We are going over, I don't even remember his name. The Muslim guy versus Andrew Wilson at Debatecon last week. Welcome.
As countries become more Christian, inbreeding declines, right? We can see this. From church intervention in Spain, 20 to 30% post-Reconquista, Catholic Church banned cousin marriages for commoners, papal dispensations sold for royals. Italy, similar high rates in the medieval period. The church enforced bans over the century. France, high medieval. Canon law prohibited marriage within...
Daniel Haqiqatjou. Haqiqatjou? Something like that. Something like that. We'll call him Pikachu.
4 degrees of relation. Modern Western Europe, it's not just the cultural norm, but let me tell you exactly how much of a cultural norm it is. Even in European nations where marrying your first cousin is legal, they don't do it because of the ecclesiology. Isn't that wild?
What's ecclesiology? Is that just like the general idea of what's in? Okay. All right. Come on. I need a ecclesiology. The study of Christian companies. Yeah. So basically just because, it's enforced. And so when we talk about enforced monogamy, then it means that we don't have to make it a law because people don't want to do it anyway. Angry Amputee said Muslims aren't used to hillbillies with guns. Reason went to Dearborn, Michigan. Small town people, too nice, and pushovers. Yikes. Yikes. Well, don't let your place be next. Funkmaster said, ask Jim Bob if he knows any good recipes for roadkill possum. All right. I will definitely do that. Pikachu. Pikachu's where it works for me. Unless he says something that makes me change my mind. He's Pikachu for right now.
Africa shows the more Christians and less Muslim the societies become, the better they do. Let's just take a look at Nigeria. Okay, we can go down the list here. 50% Nigeria.
You guys probably have seen this after opening statements. I have a quick side quest that's just fucking hilarious. 20
to 30% first cousin marriage. Isn't that crazy? Now let's move right on down. You can see South Africa, Muslim 1.5%. Very low to negligible in the national prevalence of cousin fucking. Whew. You can look at the list. It's pretty comprehensive. We can continue to go, right? The bottom 20 least productive sub-Saharan African countries. Wouldn't you know it? They're all Muslim. 99% Muslim in Somalia. Whew, very high. 60% first cousins. Anybody ever hear a joke about Somalian IQ?
Reacts to man.
Let's look over at Niger.
Shout out to Al. I'm going to call you Al. Welcome to the party. Said Christianity sucks. I agree. It's just a little bit better than Islam. Welcome.
10% Muslim. 60% cousin marriage. First cousin marriage. Let's take a look at Muslims. When we're taking a look at Malil, it's a 90% population. High cousin marriage. In other words, everywhere Islam goes, the IQ goes like this. Because they all are fucking their cousins. Not joking. Go over to the...
That was a very bad moment for Andrew when that lesbian chick was like, so your wife has... And he was just like, oh, you're a bitch. Oh. Like, bro, how are you not immune? How are you not immune to that by now? Shout out to Pumpkin. Welcome to the party. Said, God isn't real. That's what I think. But hey... let's let them argue on their own. Welcome to the party.
The next slide, please. I want to show you this is a famous case. These are called the rat people of Pakistan. It's a condition known as microphalics. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I have no idea. And it's caused by excessive inbreeding. When's the last time you...
Microcephalics.
Went to a European country and saw that? You don't see it. Inbreed.
Oh, maybe in the UK.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I missed it. Okay, we need the captions for that one. Hold on.
Inbreed, yeah.
What?
By excessive inbreeding. When's the last time you went to a European country and saw that? You don't see it. Inbreed, yeah.
That one's for the live.
Next slide, please. As we continue, let's just take a look here at the casual link between cousin humping and low IQ. Basically, there's increased homozygosity, I think that's how it's pronounced, for deleterious recessive genes, and it is the strongest causal link for why the IQs are so low. Genetic risk. Inbreeding raises the chances of inheriting 2 copies of harmful recessive genes. Brain development impact. Harmful genes can impair neurodevelopment, reducing cognitive potential. IQ reduction evidence. First cousin offspring lose 3 to 4 points on average, and closer inbreeding can cause larger deficits. They've been at it for 1,400 years.
Jesus.
Ooh. Higher prevalence equals greater risk. Populations with widespread cousin marriage show more individuals with lower cognitive performance. Generational compounding over successful generations. Harmful genes accumulate. One of the big Muslim copes you'll hear from Daniel tonight. Well, it's only 1.5% for genetic problems for normal people who aren't having sex with their first cousin.
That's not a good argument.
Well, that's true.
We'll get into it.
It only doubles to 3%. That's very low.
Okay. Just so you guys all know, TikTok is still and always will be better than YouTube and X and all of those things, and you just hate because you don't know anything else. Sorry.
No, it compounds.
Shout out to Pumpkin. Thank you very, very much. It's so easy. And a subscription, guys. My birthday is on Friday, and if I could get to 5K subs by Friday, that would make me so very, very happy, guys. I am live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and sometimes whenever I feel like it. So, and of course, we've got a cute puppy too. So hit that subscribe and ring the bell because YouTube sucks with those notifications. Let's come on, dude.
See, if you hump your first cousin and then those kids hump their first cousin and their kids, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, down the line, guess what happens to your IQ? Guess what? You'll never guess. Anybody got a guess? It goes down. The negative consequences of a low IQ. 80 IQ versus 100 IQ person, income 50 to 70% lower, welfare dependency 4 to 6 times higher, literacy less than 10% at less than 85 IQ, obesity up almost 2 times, chronic disease up to almost 2.5 times, life expectancy less than 70 IQ or 75 IQ down 5 to 10 years.
Okay, this is specifically low IQ. Low IQ. I was like, really? Muslims are that fat, and even though they live very differently? Shout out to Morgas Hammer over on Rumble. Welcome. Said like and share. Thank you. So very, very much. Again, guys, it does not even matter if you think anybody's going to click on the link. Just by you sharing it, it tells the platform, show this to more people. Thank you. Welcome to the party.
Why? Because, well, you might just look down the barrel of that shotgun when you're cleaning it. Moving over, arrests and incarcerations 3 to 8 times higher.
So I don't think he's saying because they're in the fourth world that they have low IQ. I think that's what I was looking at before. But this one is just specifically low IQ across humanity, not talking about Muslims or Africans or anything like that. That's what I was a little confused. But just low IQ in general. This is like across the world.
Over, arrests and incarcerations 3 to 8 times higher. Violent offenses 4 to 6 times higher. Teen pregnancy 3 times higher. Child neglect and abuse 3 to 7 times higher. Intergenerational poverty 4 to 6 times. Almost every study available shows that IQ entering the low 80s, Muslim countries.
Okay, Hassan.
Affects nearly every aspect of life in a negative way. Economic prospects, criminality, mental, physical health, happiness metrics, and both at the individual and societal level. In fact, study shows that when a country has a sub 90 IQ average, they find it difficult to have basic innovation, infrastructure, professional class, and other basic needs of a functional society. Is that sounding familiar yet? Now, here's the thing that's interesting. Modern societies don't require everyone to be a genius. Just look at me. But they do rely on a distribution of abilities, and you can see there.
That was a good implementation of the self-deprecation.
Just look at me. But they do rely on a distribution of abilities, and you can see their roles below. 70 to 85, basic job, practical skills, routine labor. That's Islam. That's almost every Islamic nation, ladies and gentlemen. 70 to 85, sometimes up to 2 standard deviations lower. Whew. 85 to 100 would be skilled labor administrative support, 100 to 115 professional middle management, 115 to 130 engineer, scientist, doctor, specialized roles, the things they desperately need that they get from us. 130 plus innovation, leadership, high level problem solving. Next slide, please. Inbreeding itself over generations causes massively compounds that lead to negative consequences. And you can see the risk curve there. You see how the genetic defects increase every single generation. Moving over, I just want to point this out on the last slide. Islam took
see, they're coping for the Muslims. They're coping for the Muslims. Come on, YouTube.
Ethnic people.
They know where their money's at. That
were at the heart of being the top of civilization. And through generations of Islam and inbreeding has turned them into the lowest IQ, some of the stupidest people on planet Earth. Literally. You think I'm being mean. I'm not. They're literally some of the stupidest people on planet Earth. Everywhere Islam goes, inbreeding increases and societies become worse. Where Christianity goes, inbreeding decreases, so societies do better in almost every material way. Let's just point out here, as I wrap this up,
Hello. Muslim is not a race. It is a group that you choose to be in by an ideology. So, no, I don't. I hate Islam, but I don't know many Muslims.
1 second. So it's clear here that my argument summarized, though this isn't its entirety, is that Islam creates huge societies with large swaths of people with IQs so collectively low, they would be considered developmentally challenged, borderline retarded here in the West. Not kidding. Due to this side effect, force doctrine becomes the order of the day. Because the technological difference in capabilities of each people group is so vastly different, think Apollo mission compared to Starship Enterprise, Islam must literally bank on the benevolence of Christians to not wipe them off the face of planet Earth. They are basically, the feminists of the East, totally reliant on the goodwill and benevolence of global Christianity, not to just not exterminate them.
Yikes. Lil Neggy said, bro, isn't the foundational story of Christianity that Adam and Eve's children necessarily forced to procreate with one another? Yep. Well, no, apparently there were other people. They were the first people, and then there was Cain and Abel, but then they went and married other people. I'm an atheist. Don't lump me in with them, but I'm just here for the show. But, yeah, very true. And then Lil Neggy said, I mean, the whole viral clip on the cousin thing seemed dumb. Definitely not dumb. Definitely is a real thing. But you ain't wrong about the first part. Welcome to the party.
Not to just not exterminate them. Okay? And take their resources, always appealing to the mightier force for their existence and the benevolence of that very people group who Daniel...
No, autism is a mental disorder that is a diversion from the properties or the mechanisms of your brain. Being low IQ means that all the faculties are there, they just don't work very well. And again, as Andrew said, he's not being mean, that is just science.
Always appealing to the mightier force for their existence and the benevolence of that very people group who Daniel today is arguing doesn't make better societies, which is a laughable proposition. Even absent the degeneracy of a people group must be able to competently defend itself or bank on the benevolence of the people group, which can. And almost everybody is going to prefer the society that can.
Yeah, but I mean, Angry Every you see how, well, it started with a bunch of incest, but not anymore is not really a very strong argument. Claude said, so is there a lot of Islam in Detroit or Harlem? Nope. Morgoth's Hammer said, Andrew has a strange definition of benevolence. Not annihilating people means benevolent? I don't think that's the point that he's making. I think that, again, as we're showing, as Christianity definitely has had a strong and violent past that, as Angry MBT was saying, that's not how we do how they do things now. And that Reformation that that Pikachu here said is such a bad thing is the only thing that makes Christianity still worth being anything. Shout out to Eric. Welcome. So I just came to remind you all that the Democrats' logo is a jackass for a reason. Yeah, jackasses. I don't know if there's any liberals here, but always a good reminder. Welcome to the party.
Which can. And almost everybody's going to prefer the society that can. Imagine the irony here of arguing against the very Christians you find inadequate morally, yet bank on their moral benevolence to not wipe your low IQ fucking asses off the face of planet Earth.
All right. I'll give him the dilly for that. Fair enough. When you kill, you kill. And I don't mean like the Muslims.
Thank you very much for that opening as well. To jump into the 5
That's what I'm saying, guys. They're saying it out loud.
5-minute rebuttals. Just a quick reminder, folks, please be sure your phones are on silent, and also please do refrain from recording or streaming any footage other than if it's TikTok length, that's fine. But we're going to kick it into 5-minute rebuttals. First with Daniel, the floor is all yours.
So this falls exactly into what I predicted. You argued like a libtard. This falls into exactly what I predicted. You argued like a libtard. How?
Yeah, how is a good question? How?
You're saying that success is on the basis of IQ. Well, how are you going to argue tomorrow when you debate with an atheist that Christian IQ is higher than secular atheist IQ? In fact, the atheist IQ is much higher than Christian IQ. So your entire standard for judging Islam applies just as much to Christianity. And tomorrow when you're debating the atheist, you'll have to concede that your Christian religion is associated or correlated with lower IQ. Therefore, atheism or secularism is better for society because it raises IQ.
Oh, so he's that dumb. So he thinks it was just about IQ. Andrew's argument was a lot about how IQ is a big factor in the way that Islamic societies are run and set up, not just because they have low IQ. You can be low IQ and be Christian, and the structure of Christianity will help you out. Again, I'm a third party. Well, I guess not. I did grow up in the church, but I'm an atheist, so I have no dog in this fight.
So that's one point. Point number two, where in the Bible does it restrict cousin marriage? This, as you acknowledged, is a later papal decree. It was not a part of Jesus' teachings. Jesus didn't come out and say, hey, if you want to have a successful society.
Maybe I'm not going.
Audience, I do want to ask you to keep it down so we can hear the speaker.
Jesus didn't say, oh, hey, if you want success and you want to have a prosperous society, you shouldn't marry your cousin. Jesus never had this apparently essential Christian teaching that is the key to success on earth. That's your whole argument against Islam, and it's found nowhere in Jesus' teachings. It's found nowhere in the early church fathers' teachings. This is something that came later. And also, when it was decreed that cousin marriage is considered to be incest, it wasn't on the basis of IQ. This is something that you have adopted from who? From atheists, from secularists, from those who are doing secular science to discover these medical problems or IQ levels. So
How dare you? How dare you use science?
Your entire standard for judging Islam is not a Christian standard. It's not a biblical standard. It's not an Orthodox church standard.
It's an empirical standard. You take out the silly beliefs in this, that, or the other, and we have empirically, Christianity is better. Oh, man. You are digging yourself a hole. Guys, please do me a huge favor and hit that like button if you've not done already. It really does help.
It's not a Christian standard. It's not a biblical standard. It's not an Orthodox church standard. This is coming only from atheists, from atheistic science. Second of all, if IQ is such end-all, be-all, Christian societies, if you bring up a country list of countries by IQ, many Christian countries are on the bottom there. I don't know if you consider them to be true Christians because they're not white, but they're also at 80 IQ, 70 IQ, 70 IQ. Look at Sub-Saharan Africa, look at Latin America, look at the Philippines. It's also comparable with Muslim countries. Do you consider them to be Christians or not? Also, go back to the Middle Ages. IQ was much lower in the Middle Ages in Christian societies.
Yeah, and then empiricism came around and we got real smart and you were like, nah, fuck that.
Why that has changed is because of the Flynn effect. IQ has increased globally over the world, across the world because of the Flynn effect. So if you have a problem, again, with lower IQ, look at medieval or middle age Christian societies.
So your argument is that, well, 1,000 years ago, your people were dumb. So now my people are dumb, so it's okay.
What?
That's definitely showing high IQ.
IQ, look at medieval or middle age Christian societies. And
probably not on his side, right?
Also, here's another big problem. IQ is also linked with race. So if you want to prioritize high IQ, you should discourage interbreeding between races. Why should higher average IQ from Asians or whites or Jews or whatever race that has a higher average IQ, Christianity encourages or allows interbreeding between the races? That will result in a lower IQ. So you should be against that because that's going to, over time, lower the average IQ of society. So that should be something that you need to oppose to be consistent.
If your entire argument is based on IQ, which it's not.
Interracial marriage or interracial breeding should be contrary to your point or contrary to your position. Also, yeah, I mean, I'm just shocked that your entire argument about why Christianity is better than Islam is a cousin marriage argument. That's like shocking because it just works so far against you. So if IQ is the end all be all,
which it's not, that again, that was just part of the argument, but go on, King.
Against you. So if IQ is the end all be all of what makes a society good, then Christianity loses to atheism and secularism. Like, case closed. So like I don't, and many
I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Case closed. Atheism wins. Let's all go home, guys. There you go. There you go. Christian, Muslim, same thing. Atheists win. Have a good night, guys. Hey, we got Box in the building. Welcome to the party. It said Islams can be moderate. Interesting. That is our running poll. Oh, I didn't put it on the vertical one, but you guys never do that anyway. Right now, we have 75% of you agree that Islam cannot be moderate. Box is on the 25. I'll put the poll up on the other chat as well. Vertical, guys. Let me see what you're thinking right now. Oh man. The landscape stream is crushing you guys with the likes. There's 12 likes on the landscape stream and only 3 likes on the vertical stream. Guys, you are falling behind.
to atheism and secularism, like case closed. So like I don't, and many Christian societies are low IQ, as in the same way as certain Muslim countries. The thing about the difference between me and you is my values are based on marriage, family, traditional values of that nature, not atheistic values of IQ and intelligence.
We're going to jump into Andrew's rebuttal as well. The timer is set for you 5 minutes, Andrew.
I was going to say, Andrew's rather quiet for that whole period, but it's a rebuttal. Okay, got it.
Libtard value. Don't
And on the okay, well we'll go.
fuck your.
This guy is Andrew Wilson of the Crucible. Anything I missed here? We'll jump back in. All right, here we go.
Set for you 5 minutes, Andrew.
Libtard value. Don't fuck your first cousin. Libtard.
I mean, sorry, dilly to Andrew on that one. If that's some libtard shit, then call me a libtard. I mean, what are we talking about here?
Don't fuck your first cousin. Libtard. Let me just point out that Daniel
I would have gone harder on that. What? You're a loser. You won't fuck your first cousin. I would have just gone for a good 5 minutes on that.
Haqiqatjou didn't actually rebut any of my arguments. Not a single one. My argument.
Indeed, I did at the last Debatecon, which was a little bit of a shit show. Last minute, they were like, we need 5 atheists to debate Andrew Wilson. And then he came in with a bunch of prompts that were about politics, and I'm more right-leaning. So I was like, I pretty much agree with you, but let's try to debate anyway. But yes, that was me, and I will be debating on Made by Jim Bob tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern. Come on through. Make sure you subscribe. And of course, guys, like I said, my birthday is coming up on Friday, and if I could see 5K subscribers, that would just mean the world to me.
Didn't actually rebut any of my arguments. Not a single one. My argument was simple, and I'll repeat it here again. The argument is that your society has to rely on the benevolence of mind to exist, because of your general IQ. You see, remember how I told you the 70 to 85 is basic jobs, practical skills, routine labor? That's most Muslim societies, sir. Doesn't matter if you point out 2 exceptions to the rule. Even in those societies in which Christians have a lower IQ, guess.
Yeah, I was born into the Catholic Church, raised up, believed. When we moved over to the Methodist Church, I got confirmed, and I believe, Punkin, it was you who said the road to atheism is littered with fully read Bibles. And that was me. It wasn't just like a one crazy moment where it's like, oh my God, I don't believe. But reading the Bible was a very, very big part of why I lost my faith. So the debate with Jim Bob tomorrow, right here and on the Speakeasy platform. It is rational to be an atheist, and so I am obviously taking the yes, pro-agree side that it is rational to be an atheist. He will be saying no, it is not. So he either has to prove that it is insane to be unconvinced that a God exists, or he has to prove that God exists. We'll see how it goes.
Exceptions to the rule. Even in those societies in which Christians have a lower IQ, guess what you find? Their interbreeding rates are going down, and when you compare them to the same Arab population where they are inbreeding, that section of the population, the IQ is always lower. So what's my argument here?
It's almost like the culture matters. It's not just about the rules.
My argument is that Christians...
See, I was going to do a deep dive on all that stuff, and no, because he's smarter than me. He understands the philosophy way better than I do. So if I try to get into it, then he already wins. So I'm not going to waste my time. I am going to just go in there, what I have right now. Well, I'm gonna watch a couple of his debates first, but the prompt is such that he has such an uphill battle that even if I lose, the way my goal is to show people that just because you see that somebody is an atheist doesn't mean that they are, the blue-haired libtard, no, whatever. I care way more about that than I do about beating Jim Bob in a debate. And so maybe I will lose the debate. I don't care. But as we've talked about just at the beginning of this conversation, there is a reason that the stereotype around the word atheist is so fucking bad. And given that it is not an ideology, given that it is not a belief system, and I don't have the choice to not be an atheist, I'm going to do my level best to change that perception. And winning a debate is secondary to me. Doesn't mean I'm not going to try, but...
population, the IQ is always lower. So what's my argument here? My argument is that Christian societies are better because they lower inbreeding, which collectively takes your IQ so far down the rabbit trail that you end up having to beg the higher IQ individuals for protection from them. You have to bank on their benevolence. Imagine this guy is banking on the benevolence of Christians who have a high enough IQ to basically eradicate all of the Middle East. There's nothing they can do about it. And they're banking on that benevolence while telling you all that you're immoral. You're immoral. This is not an atheist argument. Far away. Well, the argument here is based around what it is that we're discussing. And what are we discussing? Which makes for better societies, right? Christianity.
Well, but then it is an atheist argument. It's a secular argument. You're not arguing that one of them is more true. You're arguing the practical aspects of what it does to society. So yes, gentlemen, I'm sorry, but this is a secular debate.
Discussing. What are we discussing? Which makes for better societies, right? Christianity or Islam? How can you claim you have better societies, sir, when half of your societies are so inbred, their IQs are like borderline retarded? How could this possibly be of benefit? And you know what they do when they go to other countries? They keep doing it. They keep doing it. Now he says, well, if you value.
Good. Well, there you go. Icky works for that. Icky works for that. The question is, how do they keep spreading it so well? That is the question. Punkin said, I wish I could debate, but I struggle to articulate myself verbally. I'm autistic, and I am very passionate atheist. Thank you to those who are able to do it. I appreciate you speaking out. Well, thank you for the kind words. And if you're interested, shout out to Grid One. There is a number of different channels, but if you look at the Unreasonable Man, Horseradish, Speakeasy, there's a bunch of like lower, like debate channels that aren't as big as Modern Day Debate, where you can kind of go and like, kind of get your skills up. If it's something that interests you, then, you could definitely do it. And, I don't know too very much about autism, but it might come in handy when it comes to debate prep. That might come in handy. So give it a shot. Shout out to Grid and Speakeasy.
They keep doing it. Now he says, well, if you value IQ more than all other values, who said anything about that? The debate is not about that. It's about which makes for better societies. Now, which society would you rather live in? Would you rather live in a society of donkey pull cart? Nope. Right? Donkey. Yeah, it
might not work out for me, but it's all I got. I'm not going to learn philosophy better than Jim Bob in a week or two. Like, that's not going to happen, right? So, I think philosophically, though, my position is a very difficult one to prove. And so all I have to do is stay in the pocket and be like, that doesn't prove this. That has to do with leftism. That has to do with feminism. That has nothing to do with not believing in God. And I have a feeling from my debate with Andrew that all throughout the Crucible, there's too much of a conflation of atheism and leftism, feminism, degeneracy. They just mush that all into one. And so when I'm like, you brought five prompts to me, and I agreed with all of them, then you can't treat me like I'm one of them, because I'm not. You can try, but maybe I don't know tag, but you ain't gonna make me look like some fucking leftist.
Would you rather live in a society of donkey pull cart, right? Donkey pull cart, because we're not smart enough to make car. We're not smart enough to even have infrastructure because we're at 70 IQ, 80 IQ, borderline retarded individuals. That's a society. Who's moving there? Who's moving? Nobody. They're all moving here. Why? Because they want the societies that Christians have. By the way, let me point a couple other things out. No, Christians are not stupid. Yes, their IQs are much higher Much, much higher.
Well, I mean, I've met some pretty dumb Christians, but if we're talking by group, then yes, Christians are smarter than Muslims. Atheists, unfortunately, are smarter than religious people, but there's a much smaller number, and you know how the left loves to play with numbers and stats and stuff.
Oh, Christians are not stupid. Yes, their IQs are much higher, much, much higher. Even in non-white areas, they're much higher, sir, because they don't inbreed. And it's very frowned upon. Go figure. And interestingly enough, let me just point this out.
It's almost like socially enforcing something works.
That Christians have a much smarter enemy. Much smarter enemy. You're right. They do have a high IQ. You need high IQ people to combat that with these values. Islam can make no inroads. They don't have the technology. They can't mount an invasion. They can't even make a fucking power plant.
The Rage Page said 20th cousins share an average of about 0.05% of their DNA, which is equivalent to a 1 in 1,024 chance of inheriting a specific DNA segment. Yeah, so do the math, because that, like, 1 in 1,000 is pretty high, but not that high. But then you multiply that by 50% and 50, half and half and half and half and half, and pretty quickly, it's like 1 in 3.
Right? How are they going to do that? Daniel, what's your big plan?
Oh, sorry. Quality said in the video recommend Jim Bob said God does stuff supernaturally. Peterson then replied with he can just answer any question with naturally. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I watched the beginning of that with the Planet Peterson guy, and it was very because I was gonna cover it. I was gonna stream yesterday, but I got tired, and then it's gonna be a long week. And then I was gonna cover that in preparation for tomorrow, but it was kind of heady and boring, and that's when I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to learn tag. I'm not going to learn philosophy better than he does. I'm sure as shit not going to learn apologetics or anything like that. So I'm just going to be who I am and do what I do. That's all I got. That's all I got.
Even make a fucking power plant, right? How are they going to do that? Daniel, what's your big plan? His big plan is to bank on the fact that there's enough suicidal empathy in the West to keep on importing Muslims. That's about it. That's it. That could be his only plan. These people can't make armies. That requires massive organization and mobilization. You think that these people could ever attack the West? That's a laughable prospect. He started with Zionism. He has 10 million Jews in his backyard. They can't do shit about it. Nothing. 1 billion versus 10 million. They can't do anything.
But I think so. Ron's saying that they love to, shotgun these questions, and again, I think a lot of these questions are going to have to do with feminism, leftism, other things. And so you can fire questions at me, and like, what does that have to do with this? What does that have to do with that? What does that have to do? Hey, I'm no Jim Bob. I am no Andrew Wilson, but I am no fucking schlump. All right, I know what I'm doing. I may not be, Mr. Tactical, but I know what the fuck I'm doing.
Nothing. 1 billion versus 10 million. They can't do anything. They launched their entire missile payload. It does nothing because of the IQ difference in these regions. The IQ difference is so wide that if they even tried to collectivize, it would still be done, and they know it. And they can't collectivize anyway because it requires a high enough IQ to follow orders. Okay? So that's my argument. My argument basically is very simple. You have to have a high enough IQ to have a society to begin with. Christians make it by lowering everywhere they go. You fucking your family members. My God. Back to you, Daniel.
Hi, hello said Christians act like they have all the answers because they've been taught to not ever research other religions. If they did, they'd realize they are all the same. Dilly to that. That is also a big factor in me losing my Christian faith was exactly this, understanding that this notion of a special person that came down to earth and sacrificed themselves and was and 3 days, all that stuff is not anything new. And, as you guys are saying, there's a lot of issues that I have with what Christianity does because of the fact that it is a dogma. All dogmas are bad because dogma supersedes intelligence. And as we're discussing, intelligence is a very good indicator on how society will run. And so when you introduce all this dogma, whether it's religious dogma specifically or the leftist dogma that we see, then we are unable to get outside of that. And it becomes more about the tribe than the truth. And call me a loser, but I care a little bit more about the truth.
With that,
Oh, so this isn't an open debate at all? They gotta have some open debate time, right?
With that, we have 60 minutes of open dialogue.
Okay.
Though,
All right. Okay. So let's get some of these comments, and then we'll jump into the open dialogue and try not to slow it down too much. Again, guys, over on the vertical stream, please give me a double tap. There's 13 in here and only 3 likes. Come on. Ron says to me, they are pseudo-philosophers and are super confident when saying it. When they go against a professional philosopher, they end up lost. Yep, there's a reason why we haven't seen Andrew Wilson versus Alex O'Connor. There's a reason. Joe said, Jesus, I'm not on a roll today. YouTube eating all my comments. Oh, man. Well, don't forget, we do have the free Discord. And, of course, we have Rumble, which you can say wherever the fuck you want. Hey, shout out to Box with the $2 make you holla. Thank you. So very, very much. And another treat for Morty. Will he eat it? Oh. His tummy is still not feeling well, but he's got his treats right there. Very, very, very much appreciated, Boxer. They all have superiority complexes in their own ways. That's what dogma does. It makes you think that you are better. It makes you think that you have some answer that cannot be wrong. And that's not how that works. Shout out to Brandon Murphy. Welcome to the party. Said, is it true there's good Muslims out there? I'm nervous of being associated with one because I don't want any conflict with them or anyone. Totally fair question. I will say yes, there are good Muslims out there in the way that you are asking. Now, if you would ask, if you'd ask this guy if they're good Muslims, he'd probably say no, they're not good Muslims. They're good to you because of the fact that they don't follow Islam very closely. So I don't really know. That's kind of where the poll question comes from. Because if you are really following what the Quran says, then you're not being good in my eyes. But then that moderation, does that still make you a Muslim? I don't know. So good question. Liberty Plus said, Andrew's gone up against some huge names and wrecked almost all of them. Why is Alex O'Connor better of any of those people? Because I guarantee you he knows the Bible better than Andrew does. I guarantee you he knows the Bible better than Andrew does. I will bet you $100 that he knows the Bible better than Andrew does. And there you go. Good Muslims are bad Muslims. That's the problem with that question. That's the problem with that question, because I know what Brandon's asking me, but this is the truth. One Wolf said, there are no good Muslims. They aren't true Muslims. Mosab Yusuf. There you go. Rage Page said, people's view on Christians is just as wonky as it is for atheists. I can agree with that. Box said, Islam can be moderate. Most are. Sam Harris brought up the concentric circles of belief, and most are in the outer, wider ring. Fundamentalists are the smallest ring. Okay, so let's go to that outer ring and ask them how they feel about the fundamentalists in the smallest ring. Takia. They either are going to lie to you, or they're going to tell you the truth that, like, oh, those are fucking based. There are no moderate Muslims that are honest. I'm sorry. That's just not how that faith works. Larry said, Andrew's not banging on the Bible. He follows the church, who believes is an unbroken authority of Christ. He doesn't have to debate the Bible. He has to follow the church. Again, I'm not going to sit here and litigate why I think Andrew or Alex O'Connor would be, but like, that's why. He knows this. He knows the philosophy and the religion better than Andrew does.
With that, we have 60 minutes of open dialogue.
Oh, first, I wanted to do a, since we're on the topic of Islam, I figured why not? Where's my sounds? What the hell? Where do they go? Hold on. Oh, there we go. Boom. All right. And we just need... This cracked me the fuck up. Should we do it like this for the... Nah, whatever. Okay.
Though...
Asmongold reacts to Oh, wait, this is... Zoran Mandami is expected to require all New York elementary school students to learn Arabic numerals?
New York dead. New York is dead. Arabic numerals.
This is happening faster than I thought.
Everywhere, guys.
Oh my
Arabic numerals.
No way. How many views does this have on TikTok? 14,000 likes? No way, dude. But there's 3 of them. No. Target audience reached. No. This was a day ago. This was yesterday. No way. I can't believe this. Please say psych, bro. He never acknowledged that it was a joke. People in chat called him out, and he just moved on. I saw it. I remember seeing this and thinking only the dumbest knuckle-dragging, mouth-breathing idiots could fall for it. But I was still so sure that someone would. I didn't expect to have a video of it live-streamed hours later, though. That was a quick turnaround. Gentlemen.
Is anybody not smart enough to understand what's happening yet?
I think this might just be a new masterpiece.
Even Hassan said it's a joke. What the hell is wrong with these people?
Arabic numerals? This is happening faster than I thought.
It's a joke. There's no way he's being sincere. It's bait. He's not. You guys literally, if you think this is real, brother, Asman go work for the IRS.
It's bait, bro. It's bait.
He worked for the IRS. So if you didn't know, let's watch this.
This is rage bait. Those are normal numbers. No, bro. No, these are numbers. These are normal. You got baited, Asman. These are Roman. No, these are Roman numerals. No, Asman. No. Stop the farm. Rage bait. It's bait. No, bro. You know Sharia law is next. Google it, bro. Arabic numerals are just numbers. Look, bro. Is this the taqiyya that the Islam has, where they're lying to me, telling me they're normal numbers?
Excuse me. This is from Twitch, and the clip is from Reddit, so you can fuck off with your Twitter shit. You can fuck off with your TikTok shit. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Rage pictures of Roman numerals. I mean, hey, if there's one thing that the Arabs got right, well, no, 2 things. Coffee and numbers. I mean, come on. So we know of the, there's, here, I'll drop the link to this. He goes on for a while, if you want to see it, but, you get that point. So we know of the fraud because Somalis are turning their, friends and family in and wanting nothing to do with it. What fraud? Oh, sorry. Box said, so here in Minnesota, we had the, fraud from COVID stuff, and they tried to bribe a lady based on her clan, and she refused and turned them in. They are not all the same. America is about the individual. I agree with you. But she is still buying into an ideology that allows all of these bad things. That is the point. The point is that the principles that you hold, the bottom of your principles, they inform everything else that you think and you do. And so I'm not saying everybody who is Muslim is bad. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you are going to be a true Muslim, then you are not a good person. You can claim to like Islam. You can claim to be, whatever. But if you are a good Muslim, you are a bad person. All right. Okay, wait. Let's see. Before we go into, let's see, if I miss anything else. Ron said Daniel in his live stream a couple days after the debate is saying that after the debate saying, is it even a problem in American society or culture to marry your cousins? He's acting like he doesn't know, but was raised here. There you go. Larry said, my friend in Minnesota illegally. What? Box, you two would be great friends. Oh, you mean your friend here is here legally? What are we talking about? The state of Jesse Ventura. Okay, shout out to Jesse Ventura. Section said if they don't publicly denounce Islam and stop calling themselves Muslim, they're part of the same group regardless of whatever lie they tell you. Yep. Rage Mage said if you're a true Christian, you are the best religion. Oh. The best religion is you know what? I'm gonna keep that one to myself. I'm gonna keep that one to myself. All right, 60 seconds or 60 minutes. Let's do it. Last one from Equality said also, O'Connor is a very polite guy, and I don't think bombastic jackass like Andrew would be welcome. Probably very true, but I still think it's worth it. I mean, it has to be done. It has to be done. Shout out to Brian. Welcome. Brian said, Indonesian Islam interpretation is something that I can deal with and live with. I'm not familiar with that, so I guess I'm going to have to check that out. Welcome to the party. So not something I believe in myself, but a society that I could live in without losing my mind. Cool. I'll have to check that out. All right, let's dive right in, guys. Don't forget, every single donation comes with a treat for Morty, the co-host, and he's feeling sick. Oh, did he eat him up? Hey, he ate his he ate the ones he's got already. So he has an upset stomach. If you would like to help him out, 99 cents will do the trick. Let's get rid of the side quest banner. Let's do it.
The open dialogue is broken into 90-second segments, just to be sure. Daniel, we're ready to do for your first 90 seconds.
Sure. So he said I didn't address his argument that Muslims rely on Christian benevolence because Christians have such high IQ that they could just technologically eliminate Muslims whenever they wanted. Well, Christians are at the mercy of atheists. Christians are at the mercy of higher IQ atheists. Christians are at the mercy of higher IQ Ashkenazi Jews. Christians are at the mercy of China and Asia. If you want to make a might makes right argument, then we're in the same boat, buddy. Muslims and Christians are closer together in the same boat compared to the other groups. So this is a self-defeating argument. Also, AI. AI is going to eliminate this so-called advantage of IQ. AI is making it...
I can type it into ChatGPT.
Irrelevant. I don't know why you're laughing. AI is going to eliminate a biological IQ difference between different races, between different religions, between different countries. So that's a big problem for this kind of IQ argument. You're talking about people moving to the higher IQ West. Well, you have Christians from Latin America migrating en masse in the millions, 10 million over the past 5 years, coming into the United States. They're coming from Christian countries to the US. So you think that they're coming because it's a Christian country, or is it because of economic opportunity? And many people actually prefer to live in these countries. You have people in...
Why is there economic opportunity there, Daniel?
The U.S. being...
Hey, shout out to Thumping Weeble. Welcome to the party. Very good to see you over on the vertical stream. Remember, guys, if you are enjoying the vertical stream, enjoy. If not, the link to the regular landscape is pinned in the top of the chat. Come on through.
Passport pros and living in South America because they're tired of this shithole United States. Unfortunately, what it's become, despite the high IQ.
90 seconds.
Why is that, Andrew? Explain it.
That's what Dogma will do.
Over to Andrew.
At no point do either of these people consider what an individual might want. It makes me sick. That is what Dogma will do.
Thank you, folks. Please do self-regulate so that we don't have difficulty hearing the speaker. With that,
they're in the microphone.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you can make that argument. There are some high IQ Christian nations that move to even higher IQ Christian nations, but none of them move to Muslim nations. You're not getting anybody to move over there, Daniel, because you don't have civilizations. You can't create...
You don't have McDonald's. Or wait. I remember. Bill Burr went to the Riyadh Comedy Festival and said there was a McDonald's and a Chili's.
Civilizations. He says AI is going to come along and solve it all. You got to be smart enough to use the AI, Daniel. You have to be smart enough to use the AI. Remember, 70 to 85. That's your societies. 70 to 85. Basic jobs, practical skill, routine labor. Doesn't sound like a bunch of automation, robot building, AI savvy individuals to me, Daniel.
Well, okay, I'll let it play.
He points out the ideas of IQ. Remember, we have to have a basic minimum for civilization, about 98 to 100 to 115. They don't have it. That's the distinction in our civilizations. And it's because of one value. Christians outlaw screwing your own family members. That's it. Simple. They outlawed. It's no good. And even in places where it's legal, we must be adhering to the ecclesiology here, Daniel, because where it's legal, people still ain't banging their cousins. That's your societies, the ones that you build. And what you have built is a collective of some of the dumbest people on planet Earth who are at the mercy of Christians. And don't try to cope and say, no, they're at the mercy of the atheists. Give me a break. Everybody is at the mercy right now of Western nations and Western Christians, which are in them. And that includes Eastern Europe, by the way. So this is all cope. He hasn't refuted any of the arguments. How can he possibly say these low IQ societies, which Islam creates, are better than the ones Christians do on this one principle? I want to hear it.
Go ahead, Daniel.
And the problem is, though, that in that one aspect, Daniel is right, that the Western world is not a Christian theocracy. It is the secular world. So that is a huge hurdle that Andrew has to get over. Well, only because Daniel is framing it that way. But I mean, you know, the Slims, right? The Slims, right? All right. Well, let's see. Equality and deference said to liberty. At no point do either of these people consider what the individual might want. Makes me sick. Equality said, indeed, both are thugs who worship the state. Yep. Morgal's Hammer said, why do Japanese and Chinese have high IQs? Christianity? Nope. It's almost like this is a retarded argument from the start. Even though Andrew happens to be on the right side, this is a stupid argument. The Rage Page is talking about technological development. Yep, not happening when you're in a hut. Facts, I bet that chili's hummus in Riyadh is probably pretty good. Pretty good. Liberty said he's against having high IQ, but thinks the AI will save Islam. Make it make sense. People who think Pikachu won this debate are borderline retarded too. Borderline? I mean, we're only 90 minutes or 90 seconds into the first bit, and he's losing badly. But true, stupid arguments win all the time.
Yeah, so you don't need to know how AI works to be able to operate it. That's why
you I don't know what to say. I was like, oh, what a great opportunity for a joke to dunk on this guy. I don't know what to say.
you don't need to know how AI works to be able to operate it. That's why it's a evening of the playing field. I don't know.
Is it though?
If anyone here has used AI, but you don't actually need to know how to program AI to be able to use it. This is something that
program. Nobody ever said a program. I knew he was retarded. I just didn't think it was going to be that bad.
That is very obvious how AI is going to make IQ differences really irrelevant in the future. And this is what all of the futurists are saying. Second of all, you have Christians in more religious Christian countries going to less religious Christian countries. You have, again, the sub-Saharan Africans, you have the Latin Americans who are Christian going into more secularized nations. So this is, again, an argument for secularism, not for Christianity. You say that there are no Christians moving to Muslim countries. What about all the Christians in Africa, in the Philippines, in Southeast Asia that go to Dubai, that go to the UAE, that go to Saudi? That is a counterexample to your really bizarre claim. You also, again, look at what makes a society great. I think that's the overarching point that is so hard to believe that a Christian would make this argument. I value marriage. I value children. I value having big families. I value...
They all are, Box. They all are. I know that because they are a global minority, that the liberal mentality or default is to look at them as the oppressed. But they're not nice people. Shout out to I Love Bread too. Welcome to the party. So there are plenty of negatives about inbreeding besides just IQ. Using IQ to defend Christianity is self-defeating when Asians are in the picture. Shout out to Morgoth's Hammer who said exactly that. So why do Japanese and Chinese have high IQs? Christianity? Not that. And while there may be a correlation there, I agree that it is a self-defeating argument, which is why I'm so happy to be on the outside of this as an atheist. Welcome to the party. Liberty said you have an 80 IQ. You have to be an 80 IQ to think being dumb is good. You know. We also got Sparkplug Peggy in the building. Welcome. Said Islam's not that bad. I mean, Trump literally rolled out the red carpet for them. No, that was the Saudis. So there's a difference between an ideology and a place. A place is somewhere you can go. An ideology is something you think.
Belief in God. I believe church attendance or like religious attendance to places of worship. These are the things I find valuable. And I showed you how within Muslim countries, all of these things are higher despite having a lower IQ, which I'll grant you. Did you say over or 10 seconds?
No, you're good. That was 90 seconds. Go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah, so this is really funny. Imagine the irony of saying this. Well, Christians are moving to more secular countries. So are Muslims. What are you talking about? The mass migration. No one's bitching about the mass migration of the Christians right now, are they, to Christian nations? They're bitching about it the other way around. Really interesting, too. He still hasn't refuted the argument. Notice he does everything we get in the. He says, we really value marriage to our first cousins. to our first cousins. We think it's great. It's fantastic. We really value it. It's like, no, that's not a value of mine, sir. And I don't think that that's secular to say. It's not a value of Christians. Do not want to have sex with their family members. And by the way, can you please explain, even though I've asked you many times, how it could be possible, sir, that you create better societies than Christians where everywhere Christians go based on their ecclesiology, their ecclesiastic authority, and the fact that they're Christians, inbreeding goes down, making sure that the IQ at least sits somewhere around can function.
You can't, bro. You can't. Like we said, Christian church banned cousin marriage. That's the only point. It's not self-defeating. Muslim cultures promote it. A society that gets dumber, secular or religious. A society that gets dumber, secular or religious is bad. With which societies are not secular or religious? And yeah, we got some fans of Pikachu in the building. Welcome to the party. Bugmaster said, for years I would go to an Eid celebration. One thing I learned about Islam is they really like Scotch. Well, so do I. So, you know, we have things in common, but ideology ain't one of them. Colby said, I definitely heard you make general statements about how Islamic people are bad, which is kind of racist. No, it's not. If you're to say Arabic people, if you were going to say any type of race, then it would be racist. But Islam is not a race.
Can you please?
You can make the argument with Judaism. You can make the argument, well, being Jewish is a race, whatever. That is, but there's no place called Muslim land. I mean, sure looks like it, but there's no place called Muslim land. So being Muslim is not a race.
Making sure that the IQ at least sits somewhere around can function. Can you please, for the love of all that is good, I don't even care if you Google it at this point, just contend with the argument. How are you making a better society with inbreeding and your Muslim values, which over 1,400 years have produced the dumbest societies on planet Earth?
Stupid.
Wait, let me ask the audience a question here. I'm sorry. Let me ask the audience a question.
That's never a good move. If you let me ask the audience, since I can't convince you.
Are there electric cars being developed in Latin America? Are there new AI technologies being developed
Nobody's got a mic
in Brazil and Argentina? Are they being developed in sub-Saharan?
I mean, Iran 1978 and Iran 1981 are like different countries. Absolutely, Gorilla Nuts. The Imam never answers the question. Well, that's that can just be chalked up to taquitos.
In Brazil and Argentina, are they being developed in sub-Saharan Africa?
Oh, Box, I apologize, brother. I did not get you in the banner. Let me do that right now. Thank you so very, very much to all of the donations.
Brazil and Argentina, are they being developed in sub-Saharan Africa, these Christian countries? Because they don't have cousin marriage, do they, Andrew? So why aren't they developing all of these technologies, these amazing technologies, AI, nuclear weapons, fighter jets? I didn't see Brazil or Honduras producing any fighter jets, Andrew. Is it because they don't have cousin marriage? Why? They should be having this brain-blasting IQ in all these Christian countries. Why is that not the case?
It's almost like IQ was just a singular part of his argument.
If Christianity is the secret sauce, Andrew, then tell me why these countries don't have those technologies. Explain it. Because the reason, I'll give you a spoiler alert, because it's not Christianity. It's not Christianity and cousin marriage that causes this discrepancy.
Okay, then what is it? Because that's the only thing that should come out of your mouth next. If you're saying it's not this, then it must be that. Or you could say it's not this because, and give an example of how the correlation doesn't stand. We got Behave in the building. Welcome to the party. Said Islam is a death cult. It can't be civilized indefinitely. Can't be civilized indefinitely. I don't think it's civilized right now. Was there a time when it was civilized? I don't think it can be civilized at all. Box said, I like everyone. I dislike the religion. People are not their politics or their religion.
Bingo.
Which is exactly why it's not racist. Isn't that the whole point of the Holy War? They believe Mecca is Muslim land, implying Islam is a race. Just a broad sense. No, I think that that is the place where Muslim what's his face? Muhammad or Allah jumped over the moon or some shit like that. It has to do with what happened there, not what that is. It's the Jews that think that it is a place of significance, which is why there's the argument that Judaism can be a race, which I don't really buy, but you know. Shout out to here, heir to the throne. Welcome. Said, who was Jesus praying to? Good question. I guess himself, right? Section 230 said those countries did have cousin marriage until Christianity arrived. Christianity didn't hit every country at the same time or rate, so many of them aren't at the same progress as others. Fair enough. Welcome. Nathan said Habsburg is a lesson that current cousin marriage leads to genetic disorders. Yup. Section 30 said no such thing as Muslim land or black land. I guess neither is a race. I would agree. I don't think that being black is a race or is an ethnicity. I think it's you got me there. But there is some place called Africa, and you don't choose to be black. So just because there's no the main part of it is that you choose to it. An ideology and where you're from are not the same thing. So where being black is not a choice, and also doesn't have any tenets of an ideology. So, okay, fine. Bad example of there being Muslim land, but still not a race. They said they pretend to be civilized in the West until they outnumber the natives. Bingo. Yep. Box said Christianity is a death cult, and so is Judaism. They are all death cults. Yep. John said, is that your real voice or your screen character voice? It's like 90% real. But I'm kind of playing it up because I'm aware that I'm online and stuff. But that's me. Napoleon said there's no such thing as a moderate Islam or be a moderate Muslim. Islam is the ideology. Muslims are the followers. Yep. I'm an idiot. Learn something. Didn't I just agree with you? Well, if I'm an idiot, that makes two. There is section 230 said there's no biological scientific classification called race. That's a social construct. I'm not a eugenicist. I'm making the differentiation between the fact that you do not choose your skin color, but you do choose your ideology. Liberty said the Christian worship a dead guy, but not death itself. Agree to disagree. I would say that the existence of heaven is kind of an argument against that, but agree to disagree. Pauline said Islam is pure evil. Indeed, it is, and of course we got our boy Dylan Soup in the building. Welcome. Let's dive back in here.
It's not Christianity. It's not Christianity and cousin marriage that causes this discrepancy. And if you're
okay, and then it's
so high IQ in the United States, how are you not able to figure out birth rate, fertility rate? Why are these countries going extinct? Why is Europe going extinct?
Muslim. No.
Why is Christianity, these Christian countries in Europe the population is on a nosedive despite the high IQ? They can't even figure out how to reproduce at replacement levels. Gee, I guess IQ leads to extinction because it's correlated, right? The higher IQ you have, the lower the fertility rate. So it seems like the more Christianity you have, the more chances you have of going extinct, Andrew. Explain that for us.
Well, if that were the case, you're in big trouble. Because if it's the case that your IQ stays the same and then collectively secularist IQ goes up, what's to stop them from wiping all of you out and you can't do anything about it? Your IQ, your argument, unfortunately, destroys you. When you say, well, wait a second, what about these South American nations, right? Yes, they're way more advanced than your nations. Way more. Not even in the same universe more advanced than your nations. Yes. The truth of the matter is that the reason Islam creates worse societies. We can bicker about theology, right? Hey, I'm sure Daniel could probably get me on some points there, but you can't bicker on the facts. And he hasn't contended with the argument still. He's asked me a bunch of questions. Did you actually hear an argument, anybody? Because there isn't an argument. The reason Islam makes worse societies is because they have a doctrine for cousin marriage. Now, notice Daniel didn't say, no, you can't fuck your first cousin and marry her. No. He didn't say that. Because he probably believes that you should.
He probably has done it.
He probably believes it's fine. He probably believes something about like it protects inheritance or something like this, right? The thing is, though, is like can we please get an argument for how a society that doesn't at least have 100 IQ so we can have middle management isn't better than, well, donkey pull cart? That's what I want to know. And please, for the love of God, sir, when you say it's not because of Christianity, the entire historical record disagrees with you. When pagans were at 20 to 30%, guess what? It was Christians who brought that down.
90 seconds.
And by the way, in all of the Muslim shared nations with Christians and Muslims, they're always lower IQ than the Christians because they fuck their cousins.
And time. We'll go over to Daniel, 90 seconds as well.
Again, throughout Christian history, you had sub 100 IQ. Throughout Christian history, it's only because of the Flynn effect in recent centuries that you have this change. So all of the criticisms that you're applying to Islam apply to your past civilization. How did you have a Christian civilization with sub 100 IQ, Andrew? Was the Byzantine Empire a S-hole? They had sub 100 IQ. How did they have a civilization without having positive 100 IQ? You can't explain that. You can have a beautiful, expansive civilization and empire with sub 100 IQ because there's other values that are significant to human existence. Values like marriage, family, God, worshiping God. You don't need to be a positive 100 IQ genius to be able to love and be devoted to God.
Having 100 IQ is genius to this guy. Okay, whatever you say, bro. Colby said Christians are reproducing at replacement levels. It's our national average that is below average. Fair, and a solid point. But remember, despite what they think, this is in fact a secular debate. This is not about which is better. This is which is better at society. And so the argument would have to be made that we would have to actually implement a Christian theocracy, or at the very least Christian nationalism, for this argument to be relevant here. But good point. Good point. Shout out. Oh my goodness. Carrying the team on his back. You broke little bitches. Oh my God. Is he going to take it? No, we'll leave it there for him. Thank you. So very, very much with the big 20. No question. No comment. Just pure love of the puppy. And of course, guys, that means that we have hit the goal. So not only does Morty get his treat, let's see if he'll eat this. I see some movement, but we get his special treat. And of course, now I have to do a push-up for every $2 that we make. So keep on adding them up. And all right, and we'll get it for the yeah, you gonna eat that shit up, ain't ya? Yeah, there we go. Thank you. So very, very much big shout out to Funk Master General. Big 20 hitting the goal, getting Morty out there. And guys, don't forget, every single donation from here on out gets Morty another refill. He has not eaten all day. He really does need it. It probably could be a little bit healthier, but we will worry about that later. Thank you. So very, very much, sir. Let's dive right back in.
Positive 100 IQ genius to be able to love and be devoted to God. I think that is actually more of the Christian message than this kind of IQ chauvinism that you're presenting. This doesn't seem Christian at all.
So he's like, wait, IQ chauvinism. You think it's better to have a high IQ?
This kind of IQ chauvinism that you're presenting. This doesn't seem Christian at all. This really doesn't seem Christian. You keep talking about like donkeys pulling carts. Go to the Philippines, bro. They're Christians. Go to the Philippines. Go to some of these African.
Everybody put FMG in the chat. They ain't gonna do it. They never do it. But you know, brother. Thank you. So very, very much. And look at Morty enjoying his licking it up. Thank you. Every donation, 99 cents, gets him a refill, guys. Let's fill him up.
Go to the Philippines, bro. They're Christians. Go to the Philippines. Go to some of these African countries. Go to Botswana, Christian country. They have donkeys pulling. So their Christianity and their lack of cousin marriage is not helping them. So this is a really bizarre argument, and all of you can laugh and chuckle it and laugh it up, but it doesn't change how stupid this argument is.
I never like that either. Like when you're saying this is such a stupid argument, but I can't knock it down. If it's such a stupid argument, then you should be able to bat it away very, very easily.
If you have, okay.
Or maybe, just address the cousin fucking thing.
If IQ is
the audience.
End all be all of civilization, and the end all be all of progress, then why is the West going in a nosedive? All the things, Andrew.
We
that
got
you
one.
brilliantly-
We got one person. One person who's watching a free show that someone else is paying for. We got 2 likes. We got 2 likes on the super chat. Guys, come through. Thank you, Colby.
Beautifully criticize about the West, the LGBTQ, the lack of marriage. That's happening in these non-cousin marriage countries. So clearly having the highest IQ. So clearly
So, Colby, that's why the argument about Christians replacing themselves is not relevant to this, because it's not just about Christianity. It's about Christianity in society, and this is a secular society, whether they like it or not.
IQ is not the end-all be-all.
Switch it over.
Let's take a look
Hey, he'll get mad at that.
at the first straw man. Did I ever say IQ is the end all be all? No, of course not. Straw man still hasn't told us how Muslims build better civilizations when they produce 70 to 85 IQ individuals who are basically only suited for basic jobs. Okay, still hasn't told us that. He can't tell you. He can't tell you that these are better civilizations. The reason that he can't,
They're not.
is because they're not. They're clearly not. And the thing that's really funny about this is, like, let's just grant it. Let's just grant that, just for a second, we'll just grant Daniel's argument. We'll just pretend, well, you know, it's okay to have a bunch of 80 IQ people who can't seem to get past primitive technology and are just day laborers. But you know what? We don't do anything degenerate.
Actually, I want to do a poll about that moment. I'm sure you guys have all seen the clip when Andrew was debating that chick on whatever, and they're talking, and he's like, "I want to tell you my worldview. Your wife has 3, and he just flips the fuck out. You like snacks? Oh, yeah, I'm sure you've all seen that. I want to do a poll. Because we have a poll on the Islam cannot be moderate. I think we all, well, not all of us, but a significant 77 and 75% of us agree that there is no such thing as moderate Islam. Yeah, so I'm going to make a new poll. Should we watch it first? No, I'm going to assume you watched it. Okay. All right. Give me a second. Give me a second here.
Primitive technology and are just day laborers. But you know what? We don't do anything degenerate. Fucking your cousin's degenerate, Daniel. That's degenerate.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe you don't have hookers and OnlyFans girls, but fucking your first cousin is degenerate. So by the way, and let me just point this out, and this is really, really important to point out. He has not made an argument about how they produce a better civilization. Only I have. My argument is simple and still stands unopposed. Where Christianity goes, incest decreases based on canon law. Where Islam goes, incest increases based on their canon law. Therefore, where Christians go, society gets better. Where Islam goes, it gets worse. An argument would sure be swell.
90 seconds. We'll switch it to Daniel.
All right, so before he starts, that is what we are talking about. Did you see that Leslie own Andrew on whatever? I'm purposely putting it that way so that we know what we're talking about. Let me grab some comments while you guys are filling that out. If anything, we'll take a little side quest. Colby said, lack of cousin marriage is a weird way to put it. Behave said, Christian values in the West is dying. The norm is premarital sex and casual sex is not wrong. It's gross. Yep. It created feminism and broken people.
Bingo.
You get it. You get it. The Rage Page said his wife, Rachel, was only in 3 relationships. One abandoned her and their daughter, and the other beat the dog shit out of her. Andrew saved her from the horror and took on the responsibility. Okay. Boom, boom. Yeah, right? Insane. The old one or the fresh one? Love Bread 2 said, yeah, totally out of frame response. Why so triggered when Christians praise themselves for doing charity works? Yep. Liberty said, I saved my girlfriend from an abused guy. The idea that anybody thinks that it's a bad thing is ridiculous. I've never felt judged by Christians for it. There we go. She likes the sneeze. So, and that's why I put it like that. Because I'm with I Love Bread, and I saw Jake Rattlesnake fucking coping, and I've seen a lot of people coping. But at the end of the day, no matter how out of pocket that girl was, he flipped the fuck out. She triggered him, and in this game that Andrew plays, that is a loss. Let's see if that brings it up. Come on. Yeah, okay. Let's do, first we got to do my time for a side quest. All right,
But the
we got here. Good enough.
Well, I'll try to rephrase this. I'm going to reframe, and I'm just going to be totally honest with you. I will never be able to convince you of my worldview.
You won't.
I know. But the reason is not because I'm not a great orator, or I don't make good points, or I haven't said things which should be compelling to a person. But Charlie, I just think honestly, you're too fucking stupid to understand them.
So Andrew, can I sell you on my worldview?
Yes.
Your wife has 3 baby daddies and has been married twice before.
And you...
So right there, she has not said that's bad, that you did this. She's stating facts. She's stating facts that they are very open about.
Your wife has 3 baby daddies and has been married twice before.
And you...
you
lick sniz.
Under your religion.
You lick sniz.
What is that?
You're a fucking dyke. Don't talk shit about my wife, you stupid bitch. Shut your fucking mouth.
So again, from my perspective, she wasn't talking shit. She was maybe inaccurately calling him a red pill guy and saying, well, under your worldview, you shouldn't be doing this and you make fun of single mothers and da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Shut your stupid bitch mouth.
Your wife with the 3 baby
What did
daddies?
I just say? Dyke?
Your wife with the 3
Sorry,
baby
I'm sorry,
daddies?
Dyke. Is she morally inconsequential in comparison to your ditch licking?
Do the men that you try to...
Do the women that you try to?
Ooh, that was bad. That was bad. Do the women I would have been like, do the women I try to what? Yeah, well, you're just saying things because you're mad? You're acting like a child. This is woman behavior. This is woman behavior. Fine. You want to say that the other chick was doing whatever and pulling bullshit? That's a woman. Andrew's supposed to be better than that. He's supposed to be the man. And again, she was not bringing this up as a personal attack on him. She very clearly was trying to say, under your worldview, this is not okay, yet you do it. And then he could have explained the details and why it's not like, oh, I just picked up some whore who has 5 kids by 3 baby daddies. That's not what he did. That is a fail. Wow. Look at all the cope. All right, let's see the cope fest. Let's see the cope fest. Oh my god. Section said him going off about her liking Sniz was because she did a personal attack. Nope, wrong. I don't see us a lot as a loss at all. Cope. He was about to cry. Yup. Imagine thinking they can insult his wife, but that's not what she did. He started out saying she's too fucking stupid to understand his worldview. That is in an argument, not an argument itself.
Bingo.
Dude's still on business. Hey, what? Yeah, standing on business. Okay. She's a complete brain dead broad. She had to ad-hom her whole way. Oh, but as I Love Bread 2 brought up, you're too fucking stupid is now ad-hom. Okay. Highly doubt he was ever close to crying. That sounds like Cope. Okay, fair enough. But I mean, I think we understand that we're saying he got triggered and was very upset. Well then why is he so upset about it? Maybe. You think that I get that upset every time someone calls me short? That's a personal attack. You think I get that upset every time somebody says, oh, are you dancing in fucking poop or feces? No, that's a personal attack. But I get that all the time, so it doesn't fucking faze me anymore. They get it all the time. So why is it getting him that upset? No, it's not. It's what was the attack? You tell me what the attack was. Go ahead. Go ahead and tell me what the attack was. I'm not arguing that he didn't stand up for her. I'm saying in that specific situation, she was trying to draw a distinction between saying that, hey, oh, these single mothers and these sluts and these whatever, she's got baby daddies, and then when she's trying to compare that to his own situation, she can't even get the words out before he starts crying. That's your perspective, but Rachel isn't there. Bringing her up is a personal attack. Attack the argument without bringing their family into it. That's what she was trying to do. Again, listen to it again. Listen to it again. after he spazzes out, she still tries to make the argument.
I'll try.
And again, and fine, she may be wrong that he is Mr. Red Pill. I remember the clip when he was on stage with Fresh and Fit. He was like, yeah, Red Pill's fucking gay. I'm a Christian, whatever. I know that. But that's if I did not know that, and I thought that he was a red pillar, and I was like, well, how come you red pillars always say single mothers and baby mamas and da-da-da-da-da, but yet you married one? That is a completely rational question when we're talking about worldviews. Yeah, listen again.
Try to rephrase this. I'm going to convince you of my worldview.
You won't.
I know. But the reason is not because I'm not a great orator, or I don't make good points, or I haven't said things which should be compelling to a person. But Charlie, I just think, honestly, you're too fucking stupid to understand them.
Oh, that's not an ad hom? That's not an ad hom? That's not a personal attack?
So, Andrew, can I sell you on my worldview?
Yes.
So listen again. She is trying to bring up the attack that they always get. I agree with you. That, hey, you say baby mamas are bad, yet you married one. That is a contradiction on its face. When you dig into it, then their situation may not be what fits the bullshit or whatever. But it is not a personal attack. Saying you're fucking retarded is a personal attack.
Your wife has 3 baby daddies and
Statement of fact. Statement of fact.
has been married twice before.
And
Statement of fact. So we haven't gotten there yet. So he now flips out.
Under
you lick sniz.
Under your religion.
Under your religion. So she is trying to talk about the ideals of the religion based on how he lives his life. Cope fucking harder. I didn't see this whole debate. I don't know what the fuck is going on. But this is completely on him. Completely on him. Drop the ball. This is worse than the pickle jar. This is worse than the pickle jar. Or the olive jar. Excuse me. Anyway, diving back in.
Argument would sure be swell.
90 seconds. We'll switch it to Daniel.
I gave a argument that you failed to respond to. I said that Islam, when we look at the statistics, when we look at all these countries on these
You're going to tell me that you can't understand because you're too stupid is not an ad hom? Okay, dude.
metrics of marriage, birth rate, household size, belief.
That wasn't what she was saying. She was saying under your Christian worldview, or she was trying to say under your Christian worldview, shouldn't you da-da-da-da-da? I don't know what she was going to say. She wasn't able to get it out because Andrew flipped the fuck out. So I agree. My worldview, your wife is a whore, is not a good argument. Liberty! But that's a straw man. That's a straw man. I'm fine. Maybe she lost the whole debate. I said that exchange. He said, Andrew scares me because he looks like he's about to beat the shit out of a female. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? Come on, behave. You're better than that. She literally admitted giving up on the debate. I don't care. That's deflecting. That's why I specifically didn't say, did Andrew win this debate? I said, did Andrew win this exchange? I love Red too. Said he affiliates himself with Red Pill because he agrees with the descriptive. From a leftist perspective, his persona is Red Pill or adjacent. Doesn't matter what he claims. And so I'll disagree. He is not a Red Pill. As somebody who used to be part of that world, he is more Christian forward than he is dating forward. And so, yeah, there's going to be some overlap, but that's exactly it. That's the exact reason that I'm right here. Hear me out. He's not Red Pill, right? So what was she going to say? Under your worldview, the Red Pillars do this, that, and that. All he would have had to do. Yeah, you dumb bitch. I'm not a Red Pill. Oh, but instead of attacking the argument, he attacked the person, aka ad hominem. Moving on. Again, I'm not saying that she was right. I'm saying that he was wrong. Do you understand the difference? I'm not saying that she was right. I am saying that he was wrong. Yeah, that's what Dogma does. That's what Cope does.
He's on my team. That's the girl. She's a lesbian. My book says bad. So the guy who follows my book says good.
Metrics of marriage, birth rate, household size, belief in God, conviction in.
Yeah, but come on, behave. That's what the show is. Let's not do that. All right, he can have a stupid moment. Come on, what are we doing here? He can have a stupid moment, but let's not say that there's a look that people have. Oh, you look like you're gonna beat a woman. You look like you're gonna grape a child. Let's not do. There's enough of that in this world. All right, you can have a stupid moment on a podcast and not be a bad person. Tune in tomorrow. It's gonna happen to me.
God, statistics, when we look at all these countries on these metrics of marriage, birth rate, household.
And no, being wrong is not an ad hom. Oh my God. And you're so, okay, I agree with you there. She's tone policing. The fact that she would be wrong does not have any bearing on whether or not what she said was an ad hominem. This just means that you don't know what an ad hominem is. It is attacking the person, not the argument. The argument was about worldviews. So if you are using facts about life to establish an inconsistency in worldview, that is the argument. She may have been wrong, but she did not use a logical fallacy in that moment. That's all I'm saying. Y'all got triggered. Be like, oh, they're attacking my daddy Andrew again. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. I'm sorry.
Look at all these countries on these metrics of marriage, birth rate, household size, belief in God, conviction in God. I thought we were believers. Conviction in God is higher in Muslim countries. Holding on to your religious.
Oh, and then I guess the chat agrees with me yet again.
Practice is more in Muslim countries. Look at the levels of drug abuse, alcohol abuse being lower in Muslim countries. These are all values that are good, and we see them associated with Islam, not.
I agree, but it's not an ad hominem.
Christianity. That was my argument. So you can't deny those statistics. So you keep claiming that I have no argument. I clearly do have an argument, and I refuted your argument. If IQ is the end all be all, your entire argument is on the basis of IQ. You haven't said, you just say, oh, marrying your cousin, effing your cousin, that is degenerate. On the basis of what? It's not on the basis of your Bible.
Hey, yo! Hey, yo! What? I mean, come on! Oh, why can't I get debates like these?
And that is degenerate. On the basis of what? It's not on the basis of your Bible. It's just a, yeah, laugh it up. I do want to
make sure we can hear the speaker.
Laugh it up, okay? Because as I said, you are arguing on the basis of.
Bro, look at the beard versus the top of the head. Come on, man. I mean, like, look at that. Not a gray hair in sight.
I do want to make sure we can hear the speaker
versus the beard.
Laugh it up, okay? Because I
mean, no shame. Do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. But like, gray on gray. I mean, maybe you can't see because of the lights, but gray is all up in there, bruh. Some people get patterns like that, but not usually. Well, so what you're saying is you agree with Guamtech.
Said you are arguing on the basis of a decree that was made. What is the actual moral? Can you make a moral argument, Andrew, other than
it's wrong to fuck your cousins?
Oh, it lowers IQ. There are many things that lower IQ. Like I said, interbreeding with other races, interracial marriage results in lower IQ. So is that degenerate as well? Why can't you answer these questions, Andrew, instead of repeating, oh, you don't have an argument. You have to respond to my argument. Okay, yeah, you've said that 10 times. Respond to the points that I'm making.
Well, I don't.
And the sponsor of our stream, who, yes, I will appeal to, she got him. He responded like a sucker. It is what it is, baby girls.
I think it's funny, right? The points that you're making are in question form. Question form is not an argument. They're questions, not arguments. Perhaps you should go to a higher IQ school. The point is here, and this is super important to point out, I have what's called an argument, which means I made an argument. That argument needs to be refuted. Now, I would be happy to sit here and answer all of your questions today, Daniel, but you requested specifically a forum where that's not the case, where instead we do 2-minute monologues.
I had a feeling. It wasn't Andrew who was like, oh, we can't just talk. I had a feeling.
Probably because I would tear you to pieces in the Socratic method, but I would have been happy to do that too. people always misjudge. They always seem to think, well, Andrew just steamrolls debates, and he's terrible at these long-form formal debates. It's where
Bunch of dudes who you can fucking get to flip out by saying some words and then cry about tone policing in the next breath. Okay, dude.
always seem to think, well, Andrew just steamrolls debates, and he's terrible at these long-form formal debates. It's where I fucking thrive. And let me just point this out. Has anybody heard an argument yet? He just says, well, there's better families and stuff. It's like, okay, but you need to give us a standard, an argument standard for why it would be that these have better societies than societies which can have, I don't know, skilled labor and middle management at the very least. That's all I'm asking for. I'll concede. Hey, we've got some problems. We've got the OF, we've got the prostitution, we've got some pretty horrible things going on over here. And we have high IQ enemies that require high IQ enemies. Right? And they're not getting it from Islam. So my question just is this again. It's very simple. How do you make societies that can even combat this to begin with when you basically live in the Stone Age in comparison with technological distinction? You live in the Stone Age. Islam will get AI. We already got AI. What are you talking about? So I just want an argument. That's it. I want to hear an argument for why Islamic nations are better than Christian nations based on the fact that they go, and everywhere they go, they increase cousin fucking and we don't, which lowers the collective IQ. I would actually like a refutation there at some point.
Okay, here is the argument. I'll put it in premise form so you can follow it. So take notes, Andrew. Premise one.
Lock in. Premise one.
Okay, societies that encourage marriage or religions that encourage more, better marriages, higher quality marriages, less being sluts, okay, less prostitution, societies that have bigger and more healthy families, societies that have more devotion to God, religions that encourage societies that are more cohesive, are standing for each other in a kind of nationalistic or communal way. That religion that encourages more of that is going to be better, is going to be a better religion. Premise two, Islam does encourage all of those things, all of those things I've mentioned.
The, capital The argument for cousin fucking. Good one. Welcome to the Gnome.
Two, Islam does encourage all of those things I've mentioned, and the stats I presented, that's premise two. Therefore, conclusion, by deductive inference, Islam is a better religion than Christianity. That
is it though? Nah.
That is the argument. The problem with your argument is that you say premise one, societies that have higher IQ are going to be better. Premise two, Christianity, because it bans cousin marriage, is going to lead to societies with higher IQ. Therefore,
where's indie film? Whatever happened to stoicism? Whatever happened to holding frame? Whatever happened to that? Now it's just go buck wild, bro. We YNs out here. You don't fuck with me. You stepped on my shit. Okay. Let's pretend that you live that life, bro. Okay.
Christianity is better. My rebuttal of this dumb argument is that premise one is wrong. Premise one is a false premise. That higher IQ does not lead to better societies. And as proof, I pointed to the United States of America.
I mean, when you got a lot of cousin fucking, it's kind of going to come up at Thanksgiving dinner.
I pointed to many Christian countries that have low IQ, and you haven't denounced those countries. I gave many reasons why your premise one is false. That is my rebuttal of your argument.
Because Andrew's argument isn't Christianity is perfect, although he probably thinks it is. That's not the argument. The argument is that it makes better societies than Islam does. So the things that you're proposing that he say are to the argument that Christianity is perfect, and he's not making that argument. The rage page. So there's only 2 points. Have kids with family members and say stupid so you follow Islam.
Bingo.
Yup. The gnome said, man, he's delving deep into the evidence that cousin fucking is good.
Haram.
Yuck. Trey said, sounds like Islam and Southern Christians got a lot in common with this cousin loving. Hey. Facts.
Get it?
Yeah. Let's go through this premise at a time. First and foremost, the entailment of your argument would be that low IQ societies are better. It would be that lower IQ societies are actually better, Daniel, which is hilarious because remember, you rejected that as being a false premise. P1, he says societies require higher quality marriages. They fuck their first cousins. How could that possibly be a higher quality marriage, Daniel? I reject premise one. I'm saying your argument's not even sound. How can you have in any way, shape, or it's totally invalid?
You can't, bro. You can't. It's a better marriage. to my cousin.
Rejected as even being a sound premise. How could this qualitatively be better to have genetic deficiencies compounded over 1,000 years to the point where your civilization literally requires the benevolence of all other civilizations so that they just don't wipe you out because you're not technologically advanced to do anything about it. You're not technologically advanced. And by the way, when I say technology,
Trey, I mean, I'm just saying, I see you laughing. I think that's where the 99 cent super chat. I'm just saying, if this is not your favorite of my streams in the last year.
Yeah, I'm not just talking about like lasers and phasers and guns and things like that. Remember, things like...
Wait, hold on. How do we get to lasers and phasers? What?
Advanced to do anything about it. You're not technologically advanced. And by the way, when I say technology, I'm not just talking about like lasers and phasers and guns and things like that. Remember, things like philosophy, that's a technology, right? Things like language is technology. Things like social communications and businesses and...
That's because he probably did. And I said, oh God, the dude in the hat looks like he came from Cousin Fucking. And I believe the quote that Andrew had at the beginning was 85% in some countries. Maybe 65%. I don't know, but it was higher than 50. Higher than 50% of people are marrying and having offspring with their first cousins. So then, in America, we don't have, it's legal on a state level, right? But you go to somewhere like West Virginia, and people still do it. So if it's legal to fuck and marry your first cousin, 65%, okay. If it's legal to marry your first cousin openly, what do you think they do that's not legal?
Haram! Is technology. Things like social communications and businesses and infrastructure. These are technologies. You can't have these technologies when your IQ is 70 to 85. You can't. You need to have the administrative and skilled labor class, and that requires at least 85 to 100. Most of these places don't have it, but 100 to 115, that's pretty standard for these things. So it's like, look, how could you possibly say?
No, I know you said it's not. What I'm saying, you said, where did you say it? It's illegal on a state level. And so I'm saying if it's illegal, but it still happens, then what happens when it is legal? Then what happens? That's my point. I never said that you said it was legal. I'm saying I know that it's illegal, and yet cousin fuckers are still a thing. Unless we want to make that argument that that's not a thing. If we agree that that's a thing, despite it not being legal, then we must ask ourselves in places like Pakistan, if 65% of them are openly and happily marrying their first cousins, then what's the shameful shit that they do that they don't want to tell people about? Rage page, the U.S. first cousin marriage is legal without restriction in 27 states and D.C., while 18 states allow it with specific conditions like age requirements or genetic counseling. I mean, hey. W for Christianity. I did not know it was that. I knew there were some states where like it wasn't illegal. That is empty. But hey. W for Christianity. I will call it when I will give kudos where they are deserved. I Love Red too said, if there's a sign showing society's regressing, it would be arguing about the validity of inbreeding on a platform called modern day debate. That's a good point. The Noms that have a compromise for Islam. They can engage in cousin fucking over there, but they can't have babies. Good luck enforcing that. Unless you want to start killing babies. I don't think that's going to work, but you can try.
It's pretty standard for these things. So it's like, look, how could you possibly say that the society's Christian build aren't better on a single principle, that we outlaw first cousin marriage? When you outlaw first cousin marriage, you see the collective IQ begin to increase, right? And you see that these technologies no longer unavailable. Technologies, medicines for children, things like this are now available. His entire argument is actually we should keep our society super low IQ, because if we keep them low IQ, well, they'll have more qualitative marriages and stuff.
Yep, that's the argument.
What?
We have-
What?
We have to switch it over at 90 seconds. Go ahead, Daniel.
No, I didn't say having lower IQ means you'll have more marriage. You don't understand
I mean, effectively, you did.
causality. So the question is, you had the vast majority of Christian history at sub 100 IQ. Your assumption, the premise that you're using, is that you have to have a over 100 IQ average in your society to build civilization and to be functional. But this is disproven by your own religious history. This is disproven by all of Christendom prior to 1800 or even 1900, the 1900s actually. So just like Christians could have civilization.
To be fair, as much as Andrew brings up these weird, would you fuck your grandma if she signed a contract that you could fuck her after she was dead type things, probably wouldn't be talking about it that much if they weren't actually doing it. I mean, if we're switching it up, and we're not doing Christians versus Muslims, and we're doing atheists versus Muslims, there's a lot of degeneracy on the atheist side, but cousin fucking is probably a little bit less with the atheists. Just saying.
Actually. So just like Christians could have civilization for 1900 years, Muslims have also had their civilizations that were also thriving, that also had conquest, that also had arts, literature, poetry, all kinds of beautiful things that we as human beings value. It's not just IQ. You're taking this atheistic argument, which is baffling to me. Why you as a Christian would have this kind of IQ fetishism? You're not a white nationalist. IQ is not the end all be all of human existence. I am happy, I'm fine with having a 90 average IQ country that abides by traditional values, that abides by whether they be Christian or Muslim. I actually prefer the low IQ Christian country.
You just laughed at him. You just laughed at Andrew when he exactly steelmanned you and said he's arguing for lower IQ societies. And then what did you just say? Out of your own fucking mouth.
Whether they be Christian.
Out of your own cousin sniz looking maybe cock-sucking mouth.
Abides by traditional values, that abides by whether they be Christian or Muslim. I actually prefer the low IQ Christian countries that
I prefer the low IQ Christian countries.
Value marriage. They don't have degeneracy. They don't have prostitution. I value those Christian countries even when they have a lower IQ, a 90 IQ, an 80 IQ. That's beautiful. They're living beautiful lives. Yeah, you can make fun of them. Oh, they have donkeys pulling their carts. You can laugh, but they're living beautiful lives.
And yeah, again, that's why I have no problems calling balls and strikes. Like if it is that legally permissible in America. And it's so, the numbers are so low across the board. I mean, I'm not going to say it's only Christianity, but I don't know where else to put the kudos. Tell me where else to put it, and I'll put it. But that sounds like a win for Christianity.
You can make fun of them. Oh, they have donkeys pulling their carts. You can laugh, but they're living beautiful lives as Christians or as Muslims or any other religious group.
Well, I guess ignorance really is bliss.
Oh, go on. That was a neat
slapping your dress. So look, let's point this out. Let's point this out. Let's point this out. Right? We just want to look. We haven't gotten personal with each other. We go the rest of the debate. We both got a jab in. All right, that's fair. So here's the thing, though. Right? This is still not a refutation of my argument. The historical standard is Christians had lower IQs back in the day. Yeah, and they didn't build modern civilization back in the day. Modern civilization requires professional middle management, 100 to 115 IQ.
And, modernity.
Right? 85 to 100 for skilled labor. What they're talking about is just basic day laborers. These people are very low IQ. And by the way, they can even make the claim that they're really choosing Islam anyway. They can't really think about it that hard. Right?
Oh! Credit where credit is due.
These people are very low IQ. And by the way, you can even make the claim that they're really choosing Islam anyway. They can't really think about it that hard. Right? So the question becomes, right, as we're kind of diving into this, I just want to point out one more time, the argument is around a singular Christian principle. The singular Christian principle is that we're not allowed to marry our first cousins. That's in our ecclesiology. And I don't care if you're a Protestant, right? Almost no Protestants do this, right? No Catholics do this. Orthodox, this is forbidden as well. It's not that you couldn't find some sect somewhere, some small society somewhere which practices it. I'm sure that that's the case, but by and large and overwhelmingly.
Hey, shout out to TV viewers over on the vertical stream. Welcome to the party. Very good to see ya. Also got Lorna Gigante. Welcome to the party. Said all these offshoots of Judaism need to be heavily reconsidered. I like the sound of that. I'm not fully 1,000% sure what you mean, but I like the sound of it. Welcome to the party, guys. Let's dive back in.
Somewhere, some small society somewhere which practices it. I'm sure that that's the case, but by and large and overwhelmingly it's not. With Islam, the opposite's true. By and large and overwhelmingly they do. So we're basing this on a singular principle, which is Christian, and that's what I want a refutation for. Why is marrying your first cousin for the purpose of building low IQ societies better than not doing that?
It is not. And yes, guys, if you prefer the vertical stream, then and you are watching the vertical stream, then you're in the right place. But if you would prefer a normal YouTube video, then the pinned link will bring you right over to the stream we are doing that you are watching right now, but just in a different format. Liberty Plus, the church bans it, and atheist P-Hub searches probably show that it's not taboo for them. What's that? Incest? I would hope not. But you can't say the atheist P-Hub, bro. There's way more Christians that use it than atheists. Now, again, my argument is that over the next 50 years, that will flip. But right now, the overwhelming use of P-Hub is from Christians or people who claim to be Christians.
Your first cousin for the purpose of building low IQ societies better than not doing that.
Go ahead, Daniel.
Again, it's not a causal relation. Islam doesn't mandate marrying your cousin. It's not like we're saying we want to keep IQ low, so marry your cousin.
But you just said that. Did you not? Oh, you did.
You keep getting the causal chain wrong about this. The second point that I want you to address is that when we
guys, don't forget about Morty over here. His thing's been empty for like an hour. Funkmaster, the only one feeding the puppy.
Look at IQ.
And I usually joke about the fact that he doesn't eat unless you guys pay, but he's not feeling well and he has not eaten today. So anything that you give him, he did end up eating those other ones that he didn't like. So 99 cents gets him a treat, and now that we've hit the goal, a refill.
Second point that I want you to address is that when we look at IQ increasing, that is associated with more atheism. It is directly correlated with higher levels of atheism. The higher the IQ goes, the more people become atheists. This is a bad thing. I would assume that Christians would agree more atheism is a bad thing. I think that, yes, modern society is not all it's cracked up to be. I don't know if you guys have been looking around, but it seemed like I felt, at least myself, that over the past 5 years, especially, first with the pandemic and now everything that's happening in the world where World War III is about to break out, I think the modern world is a dystopia. I am waiting for, nuclear...
The heavies. In fact, the last Jewish girl that I did talk to had the heavies.
The modern world is a
thing. I didn't know that was a thing. The Jew girls got him like that. What?
Dystopia. I am waiting for.
No, bye. Islamist dog walked by. Andrew Wilson. Welcome. As much as I would love to see it, not today. Christianity will always win over Islam. Even though neither of them are true. Welcome to the party. The Rage Page said, I know a few people who tell people they are Christian, but they are Satan-worshipping gay couple and their friends. So they said they do it to give Christians a bad name. That's kind of funny. I'm sorry. As someone who's not a Christian, that's a little bit funny to me. Second said, after a certain IQ, they start thinking they know better than everyone else, and they know everything, and require proof otherwise. Yeah, this is a problem with. I mean, this is just a global, if not nationwide, Dunning-Kruger. Angry said, I like running water if I have to Sorry. I think he was. I think he was reading the title. The title is Islamist Dog Walked by Andrew Wilson at Debatecon 6. I maybe misread that Islamist Dog Walked Andrew Wilson, but no, Andrew doing Andrew.
Out to break out. I think the modern world is a dystopia. I am waiting for, nuclear holocaust to destroy us all. I don't believe in this absolute value of modern society. And therefore, I don't agree with your premise that high IQ is something valuable in and of itself. There are many things to point out being wrong or bad with high IQ. Again, I prefer to turn the clock back 200 years where Christians had these traditional Christian societies. Muslims had traditional Muslim societies. Yeah, you didn't have a laptop. You didn't have internet. You didn't have cars. But guess what? You didn't.
Nope. I need my laptop. But first, let's give a big shout out to our boy TV Viewerski with the $10 PayPal. Thank you. So very, very much. Let's see, is he going to take it? He hasn't taken one yet. No. All right, we'll leave that one there. And you can eat that. And then, of course, since we have already hit the goal and we are still going, that adds another 5 push-ups that I got to do. But for a big 10, we gotta make it look sexy. Oh, don't you want some of that? Yummy. And for the verticals, check it out. He's loving it. Thank you. So very, very much. Oh, I can't see. We're not live. Hold on. Give me a sec. There it is. There he is. Thank you. So very, very, very much. Shout out to TV Viewerski. How about that Mormon corn? I've not seen that. What I have seen is videos of people at BYU. What is it called? Bristol, Brighton, whatever. The Mormon University. And a guy goes. A guy goes over with a camera, and just like in the dining hall, and he's like, "Would you rather kill a puppy or have a sip of coffee?" And they're like, yeah, Joseph Smith said coffee's bad, so I guess I'd kill the puppy. Just like, God damn. I'm like, casually. Horizontal stream superiority. Yep, we got 16 likes on the horizontal stream and only 9 on the vertical. So if you're on the vertical, you are slacking. Hit that like button or double tap the screen. Let me say Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I'm telling you guys, if you want to hate Mormons, that's the show to watch. I thought the rest of it was going to rhyme as well, but was not aware of this. I might have to check it out as someone who is a little bit of a reality TV kind of lover. I thought I was going to have a better word there, but all right, diving back in. Yeah.
Some societies, yeah, you didn't have a laptop, you didn't have internet, you didn't have cars, but guess what? You didn't have to worry about your wife having to, being in college and sleeping with every frat boy in the university, and you don't even know her history because. Shout
out to Akash Singh. We definitely know his history. She was the red, and Morty was
the white guys at the frats. She was popping a pussy.
He does like that barbecue sauce, but I don't know how healthy that is. And he has an upset stomach. He has not eaten anything besides that stuff. Did he eat the treat? He didn't eat the treat yet, so I don't know. And like I said, guys, it's not just grifting with the Morty Memorial Fund. All right, I don't know. It's day by day here. It is day by day here. But I don't care about that. So just keep on coming through. Let me update that banner. Shout out again. UTV Viewerski. Thank you so very, very much for your donation.
Being in college and sleeping with every frat boy in the university, and you don't even know her history because of feminism. You have LGBT degeneracy. You have elderly who are being shipped off to old folks' homes because there's not a strong family unit to take care of our own elderly. Children are being shipped off to daycares because there's not a strong family, strong marriage, mom at home with traditional roles to take care of the children.
I would argue that that's because of religion that nobody believes in anymore, and now the people that don't believe anymore, justifiably based on empiricism, now have no moral system to grab onto, which is what I would like to present and fix the fucking world.
The low IQ. I prefer the low technology society.
We have to switch it over. Andrew, 90 seconds.
Can I just point this out? that none of those degenerate things that he just pointed out, which I agree with him, are the cost of IQ. I think you're having the problem with the causal link, sir. Let's point this out. And this is really important to point out. One more time, he didn't contend with the argument. The argument is, how do you make a superior society which is better for society? And you know what? All you've done right now is just argue this. Literally, I'm Daniel Haqiqatjou, and I prefer a low IQ society. That's his argument. Now, look.
Shout out to TDA Graham. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So this isn't a good debate. It's two retards. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm having fun. I'm having fun. But I can't disagree. Section 230 said, Daniel acts like his women don't do that, yet we have plenty of stories of them throwing rocks at their wives until unalive, exactly because they did such behaviors. Yep, that goes back to all the stats we had at the beginning. Maybe people do that stuff because you'll kill them if you don't. Well, glad you are having a good time. Guys, if you are having a good time, then you know it is absolutely free to double tap your screen, hit that like button, and it really, 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 really does help. The only people who don't like the video they're watching are cousin fuckers!
I did not expect you to bite the bullet that you would have a preference for a low IQ society, and therefore we should continue to have sex with our family members to achieve said low IQ society. But over here on the Christian side, well, we're just not willing to do that. So here's what's really important here to remember as the argument structure goes on. Daniel is literally giving a prescription at this point. He's giving you an ought. We ought to have dumb fucking people. That is his ought. My ought is different. My ought is you being intelligent does not restrict you from Christianity or Christian ethics.
Chaos, who was disagreeing with who that made who a retard?
Intelligent does not restrict you from Christianity or Christian ethics. And we look at the IQ differentials.
Let's just move on. I'm just going to guess that either you're joking or two, your mom's really hot. So like all your friends are like, bro, you're also hot. I'm just going to assume
You from Christianity or Christian ethics. And we look at the IQ differentials in Christian nations and we
are you not entertained?
Christianity or Christian ethics. And we look at the IQ differentials in Christian nations and we can see firsthand that that is true. So the thing is these are not mutually exclusive claims. When he says higher IQ leads
Me first.
to secularism, I could just as easily say higher IQ leads to Christianity because all the Christians are way higher IQ. So the thing is, it's like, which of those moral values do you not prefer?
Picks or it didn't happen. Picks or it didn't happen. Drop them in the Discord, guys. Hit the pinned link to go see how hot Liberty Plus's mom really is.
It's just like, which of those moral values do you not prefer? Which of them? Which of these Christians don't want degeneracy? They're fighting against it as well. The only reason you've made these successful inroads is because your enemies are so stupid that you can conquer them. And anytime you've tried to conquer the technologically advanced West, you can only do it via immigration because you cannot collectivize to spare yourselves from the very nuclear war you're currently terrified of because your people groups are too stupid.
Over. Go ahead, Daniel.
How much time do we have, James, for this
90
to the back for this
back and
period?
forth? We have until it's about 30 more minutes.
I don't know how much more I can take of this. Ron said, I was on Daniel's stream and chatting with his audience, and many of his audience was like, what if your cousin was a 10? Them's the slims. And I mean, like, I would like to make a higher brow joke. What if your cousin was a 10?
What? Haram!
That is the joke!
Back for this
Back and
period.
forth. We have until it's about 30 more minutes.
Okay. All right, that's good.
Well done, sir. Well done, sir. Well, that brings up a whole other issue for you, bro. That brings up a whole other issue for you. Dilly, do that. One more. TV said dudes can be 10s. I know I look good, all right? I know. Larry said if she was 10, Pikachu would be after her. Oh! Sure you don't.
Baby, it's about 30 more minutes.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's good.
He's like, oh no, 30 more minutes of this.
30 more.
Dilly is from the Bud Light commercials where like they would have the old time like I would play them if they wouldn't fucking copyright them. But then they would just say, can I get a mead? Dilly. It's just cheers. It was a little rocky when we were going through the Bud Light commercial. When we were going through the Bud Light boycott. But I was like, you know what? I have faith that the meme is stronger than the bullshit. And I was right. Like I always am.
30 more minutes.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's good. 30 more minutes. So, 30 more minutes of Andrew saying that Muslims are dumb. Okay, that's great.
Well, is he wrong?
I'll try to be more substantive.
Yeah, you just said you want that. So what's your complaint?
I'll try to be more substantive than that. So just listen to this. Okay, so let's get into we have enough time to actually get.
I think, you want to know what I think? I think that judging other people's alcohol choices is effeminate. Just saying.
Get into the IQ science. So first of all,
yeah, I drink like moonshine, bro. I'm cooler than you. Yeah. Oh, I'm so badass because my shit tastes like shit. Why would I want something that tastes good? Oh, that's so gay. Gay. Oh, you have taste buds? Oh, that's gay. Oh, and yeah, it does sound like you're coping. It sounds like, I don't drink Bud Light, first of all. But yeah, I have been very open about the fact that if you think that you need to fucking throw your chest out because you, like I said, don't drink Bud Light. You know what I drink. The fact that you would care what another man is putting in his body is gay.
We have enough time to actually get into the IQ science. So first of all, Andrew, I'm not sure if you know this, but IQ is more highly correlated with race than it is with cousin marriage. So race, if you want to make this kind of IQ supremacist argument, then it will quickly become racial. And if you want to make that argument, just be very clear about it. Does Christianity, like your worldview, promote higher IQ races and everyone being at the mercy?
Okay, so I get it. When I say things in the same tone and tenor and follow the same principles of people that you disagree with, then it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch every single stream. But when I say that exact thing in a way that you don't like, it's like, oh, you're just coping. Okay, bro.
To promote higher IQ races and everyone being at the mercy of those higher IQ races. You keep making a might makes right argument that, oh, Muslims are at the mercy of us high IQ Christians. Okay, well, then there are races that are higher IQ than others. So are the higher IQ races practicing benevolence by not wiping out the lower IQ races? That seems to be what your standard, what your morality actually entails pretty directly. So that...
I mean, the answer's not no, but what the fuck is going on? The answer's not no, but also that's not really what we're talking about.
Please address the race issue.
I'll give you a chance to respond, Andrew, but I do want to be sure.
Yeah, trust me. It's not much of a facade.
Sure that this doesn't veer off topic too far.
Yeah, so I mean, that's really simple to address. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter if that's a correlate. You know what else is a correlate? Fucking your first cousin. That's a correlate. That's a massive correlate for lowering IQ. It wouldn't matter if it was inherent, let's just say, for instance, that white people had higher IQs on average than the average Arab, right? Let's just say it for the sake of a hypothetical.
Just crazy.
It doesn't actually
Asians and Indians better.
Matter that much because we know one thing that's going to bring the IQ down: fucking your first cousin. So the thing is, since that is the case, and it's objectively the case, right? I can still make the prescriptor that your societies would be a lot better off if you had 85 to 100 skilled laborers, 100 to 115 IQ professionals, at least in middle management, at least. And you said it yourself. Right now, you're terrified of nuclear war. We are terrified of nuclear war all around the nation, right? All around Muslim nations. You're probably terrified of Zionists who are right in your own backyard. I get all of that, Daniel. But your people group,
I knew it,
aren't smart enough to defend themselves against these people. Christian nations are. We're smart enough to defend ourselves from people groups who want to wipe us out, like yours, right? So that's what's important here. The reason why you need to at least have an IQ that's above, I prefer lower IQ, 70 to 85. The reason you need that is because you need to be able to defend and protect yourself.
You think this? But we don't joke here. This is dead serious. Look at my. Let me do that again, so you can look at my face as I get bigger on your screen. Jokes? You think this is a joke? You think we all ha ha, sunshine and rainbows? What the fuck do you think this is? Jokes. How dare you?
How dare you?
You can't have these strong families he's talking about if you can't defend these strong families he's talking about. You can't have these great values that he's talking about if you can't defend your own people group, because you're at the technological mercy of another people group simply because you won't restrict a single behavior. That sort of rigidity has destroyed these once great lands. He's right. They did have beautiful art. They did have beautiful culture. They had beautiful everything. And then Islam came along and allowed them to inbreed themselves into literal stupidity. So again, how do we not build these better cultures? I've refuted every argument you've had. All you do is make my argument for me.
I agree. Armadillo. This whole debate sounds idiotic. Christian values are just as bullshit as Muslim values. And as an atheist who thinks that all religions are bad because of dogma, that includes leftism, all dogmas are bad. Thus, all religions are worse than if we had the same values without the dogma. The values are not the same. The values are not the same. I mean, just going off what they're talking about here, the Reformation that Christianity experienced is the only reason that it is able to be such a driving factor in this secular society. And is that exactly what Section 2 that you're saying? Christian values are where atheists don't live in dirt huts. Yeah. I am an atheist. I think that religion is silly and does not make sense. But that which does not make sense can have value and can make people do things that we want them to do. And while there are better, I think there can be a better collection of values than what Christianity offers. As of today, that structure does not exist. And that is why I am here. I am here to try to make sure that we can continue to be better. In the same way, the Christians are like, look at the Slims. They're living in the old world, fucking their cousins. I want to be able to look at the Christians. They're living in the old world. But that old world is right now. So if we don't move forward, Christianity is the best we got. So if you don't want to move beyond Christianity, then just say fuck it all. But if you want to move beyond Christianity, you have to acknowledge that it's the best thing that we have, where it needs to be implemented and where it needs to be discussed and so on and so forth. I'll leave you with that.
I've refuted every argument you've had. All you do is make my argument for me.
Go to Daniel, 90 seconds.
Yes. This is on? Okay. So then also...
So we're flip-flopped on the streams. The vertical stream, we got 16 viewers and 10 likes. And somehow, on the landscape stream, we got 10 people and now 18 likes. Verticals, come on. You're falling behind.
So the other factor, you didn't really address the race issue and the logic of your argument that we have to promote races that have high IQ, or we have to accept that higher IQ races can dominate the lower IQ races. Guess what? You want to talk about Israelis dominating Palestinians?
Oh yeah, go ahead and say this tomorrow.
because of low IQ. Guess what? Which race actually has a representative that controls every member of Congress, like a handler, like an APAC handler? What race are the APAC handlers that are controlling Congress? What race are they? Are they white Christians? Actually, Andrew, because it seems like 300 million Christians can't take care of just maybe a handful, 10 million of that one particular race that has a death grip over your country. Maybe address that, Andrew, the elephant in the room, and then tell me about IQ. The other point that I want to make is that do I have to spell it out? Yes. Yeah, they're called Jews. They're called Jews, Andrew. It's called
I'm like, all right. I mean, if you're super Muslim, I guess that makes sense.
There are only 10 million of them. There are 10 million of them, but they can.
Oh, is he gonna make the joke? Yeah, they're beating the shit out of you on the world stage, bro. What?
It's called there, and there are only 10 million of them. There are 10 million of them, but they seem
control
to
your
have.
whole region.
They seem to have.
There you
a
go.
lot of control.
I mean, if we're gonna be honest, of course, that has a lot to do with America. But, you know, it is what it is, baby.
Of them, there are 10 million of them, but
And
they
they
seem to
control your
have.
whole region?
They seem to have a lot of control. Yeah, the thing about Israel is that they're able to dupe dumb Christians to support wars that are going to bankrupt America and cause America to really collapse, so that they will have wars in the Middle East killing Muslim brown people, because you Christians apparently, by your argument, Andrew, are too stupid.
Well, why are we bringing race into this? Why are we bringing skin color into this? Who sounds like a leftist now, Pikachu?
Because you Christians apparently, by your argument, Andrew, are too stupid to realize that they're being destroyed by this one particular group. Gee, that's really high. That's really brilliant, Andrew. So
actually, hang on, it's my turn.
I'm done.
Actually, it is really brilliant.
You've been done, homie. You've been done. So you guys have been extremely generous. So I did not say a goddamn word at the 2-hour mark. I did not say a goddamn word at the 2.5-hour mark, but we are coming up on 3 hours, guys. If you would like to keep the party raging, you see we got a bunch left here, and I am down to a party. But if you would like to keep the party raging, you know how to do it.
Notice how Daniel is banking on the benevolence of Christians to save him from a higher IQ people group, just like I said he would. Banking on the higher IQ benevolence of the higher IQ people group to save him from another higher IQ people group. Isn't that wild? It's almost like I predicted everything you'd say before you said it, because I did. This is very simple, right? His entire argument here that he's giving you right this second is, let's talk about how these higher IQ people groups are controlling you, the people I'm appealing to right now, to please stop them from dominating our entire region. 10 million against 1 billion. Dominated completely. And they have to appeal to somebody else to protect them because you don't have the requisite IQ or technology to protect themselves, and that's that. And that's why you have to have at least some sort of minimum IQ to have some sort of civilization, which can at least contribute to your own nations and people groups' protection. How could that be a worse standard? He wants to make it about race. He knows it's a red herring, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if your race has the potentiality for, like, let's say 100 IQ. Let's just say that was the case. It was just stagnant at that for some reason. Then why would we want to reduce it below that? Why?
We wouldn't. We wouldn't.
That's the dumbest thing that I've ever heard. So again, he makes my argument for me. Yes, he's appealing to the benevolency of Christians to save him and his people group. That should be the fucking, I wish you guys were smart enough to get it. If that was the case, that you understood this, right? That you're appealing to a smarter people group to save you from another people group. That's why you guys have to get your IQs collectively higher. And you just said you prefer lower IQ societies.
Switch it to Daniel.
Yeah, see, this is really frustrating that this is so directly relevant to a decent-sized beef that's going on between two conservative creators on TikTok. But since you guys are too cool for that, then I guess we're not going to fucking talk about it now, are we?
I didn't appeal to anyone's benevolence. I just pointed out how you're being used, how you're being treated like low IQ donkeys by a higher IQ race. That was my point. Like, I know you want to avoid acknowledging the point that I made very clearly, but the audience does. The audience understood what I was saying about that. So no, it's not about benevolence of Christians. Muslims don't need the benevolence of Christians to protect us. We've had a thriving civilization. And if Christians really want to win in this kind of argument, this kind of might makes right way, you're losing because of birth rates. Simple as. You're losing because Muslims are not only having more children, more people convert into Islam as opposed to leave it. Whereas with Christianity, there's a massive swell of apostasy, people leaving Christianity. For what religion? Partly Islam, but the much bigger proportion, they're converting to atheism. They're leaving Christianity. Why is that? Why? It's partly because of a secular education. So this is, maybe you need to appeal to the benevolence of the atheists, the Jews, these other non-Christians, because your religion is bleeding out. I showed the chart. In terms of religious switching from...
He ain't wrong. He ain't wrong on this. Listen to him. He ain't wrong.
Benevolence of the atheists, the Jews, these other non-Christians, because your religion is bleeding out. I showed the chart in terms of religious switching from Pew. Instead of grandstanding and trying to puff out your chest, address these real problems. Because there's not going to be a Christianity in 100 years if trends continue. And part of it is because of IQ. Ironically, part of it is because of IQ.
Hi, that's me, and millions and millions and millions and millions of other conservative people who don't care about politics because too many other people make the fucking tribe about what you believe in outside of the values and only in the religion. But I am here to change that.
Because higher IQ is associated with higher atheism. So yeah, you're going to have people who will enjoy electric cars, maybe even flying cars and AI, but they're not going to believe in God.
We'll switch it over.
What's really interesting here is just pointing out that once again, he's making the same exact appeal. The appeal, we're not making an appeal. We're not making an appeal. Islam has fantastic civilizations, as he's up here crying about how a nation of 10 million has enslaved all of them, according to him, right? How sophisticated can your civilization possibly be when 10 million people in the middle of a desert, right, are so technologically superior to the entirety of your civilization that even when your people groups have nuclear bombs, they don't feel threatened by it? This is a big problem. Again, this is not to talk.
I just need to highlight one more time how much an atheist can really enjoy this. Now, Ron, I don't know if I agree with you here. I think we might be shooting ourselves in the foot here. I say get the 10 Commandments up in every single classroom. Make the kids read the Bible 7 hours a day. Nothing will get kids to avoid their religious indoctrination than doing that. Just saying. Second is basically all America in a nutshell. Rage, what did Rage say? People, yeah, exactly. That's basically all of America in a nutshell. But they only do because the country and society was founded on it. So we learned it from the environment, which is Christian based. And yep, totally fine. Rage Face, would you rather have a world of only Muslims, only atheists, or only Christians, and all other religions cease to exist? Obviously, everybody's going to choose their own religion. Well, I mean, except for the fact that I would, if I get to stay, regardless of what I choose, then I would choose the Christians. But that's as of 2025. 2035, I'm going to be on a whole different level. But, you know, we're starting slow. We're starting small. And with that, again, guys, my birthday is Friday. I would absolutely love to wake up to 5,000 subscribers. Where are we? We are so close. We are so close. Let's see exactly how many subscriptions I need. We're at, oh my goodness. We need 56 people. 56 people. 56 people to hit that that subscribe button. And I'll be in my own earthly heaven. But what was I just talking about? Yeah. Oh yeah. So I would choose the Christians if it meant that. If it didn't mean that, you know, I would be erased as well. But we are changing that. Second to liberty. These are all good things, but works alone do not make someone a Christian. Troll 420 said Muslim heaven is our hell. That says enough. Dilly to that. Hey, is that Craig? I don't know if that's Craig, but if it is Craig, welcome. If it's not, W9CFW Radio Lounge over on Rumble. Welcome to the party. We are checking out Andrew Wilson destroy this Muslim, but I am an atheist, so who is fond of Christianity is the wrong word, but has deference for Christianity. I think that's fair. Yup. So actually, children were happier back when we had it. Things only got more degenerate as we took God out of things. Yes, but the problem with a statement like this, is that it implies that God belongs in things. And if you can prove that, well, hey, you're changing the whole direction of this channel. But I don't think you can. So the question is, do we need God in things? And I would say no. That is Craig. Shout out to Craig. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. If you still say, but there's only one acceptable religion, then people are not going to be happy about it. Aren't Christians those who try to live like Christ, or is only those who are like Christ? Well, I would hope that it's the former, because as you guys believe, there is no one like Christ except Christ. All right. What else we got here? Shout out to Nestor. Welcome. Said, I feel like Christians are jealous of Muslims because Muslims don't serve Babylon. Well, I'll let you Christians handle that one. Shout out to Amberly Rose. Welcome to the party. Feel free to pray for whatever you like. I often look for the answers to reality. So if that God does exist, then it is I've definitely tried to get his attention before and will do so again. But unfortunately, belief is not a choice. I cannot believe in God. I cannot choose to believe in God any more than you can choose not to believe in God. So if you choose not to believe in God, you tell me how you do that, and I'll switch my choice. But I don't think you can do that. Guys, 2 minutes until the 3-hour mark, and 99 cents will keep the party raging.
This is a big problem. Again, this is not to talk about whether or not Jewish people are superior to Arab people, white people are superior to black people. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with one thing, which is the prompt. Which religion promotes a better society? Which religion produces better societies? And once again, I'm going to make this argument. It's pretty easy. If you think that people would have a preference, if you could ask them, which preference do you have? Do you have a preference to live in a society where 65% or more of the people are inbred? Or do you prefer to live in a society where that's not the case? And you're a Christian, I think you would answer yes. And I think if you were an honest Muslim, you'd answer yes too. And why? Well, it's because you still want medicine for your kids.
We're not doing this, bro. We're not doing this. You and I have had this specific argument about how being convinced is not a choice. You cannot be convinced. Well, I guess you haven't actually seen me, but you cannot be convinced that Morty is a white dog. You cannot. That cannot happen. You cannot choose to read in a book that Morty Lutch's dog is a white dog. You do not have that option. Nor do I have the option, as of right now, to accept the claim that a God exists. I do not have that option. Is not available to me. It is not a choice. You are either convinced of something or you are not. If you see incontrovertible evidence, then even still you could have cognitive dissonance and be delusional. But you don't have a choice in what you believe. Again, yeah, just as much as there's no proof that leprechauns don't exist either. Show me the proof that leprechauns don't exist. Show me the proof that Allah doesn't exist. Oh, you can't, because that's not how logic works.
You still want to be able to drive on roads. You still want to be able to have basic infrastructure, skilled laborers, professionals, things like this. And it's not that there's not many Muslims who aren't. There are. But there's not enough to meet the demand because they produce really stupid societies. And it's because of this reason. So it's like
I said, you show me the proof of the leprechauns and I'll use the same method. I don't know. I can't prove something that doesn't happen. So if you know how to do that, then I'll use the method that you use. How do you prove that Zeus doesn't exist? That's why it's called faith. That's why it's called faith. Because it's not knowledge. It's being convinced of something without knowledge. If it was knowledge, we wouldn't call it faith. You know what we would call it? Knowledge.
he just keeps on begging me to answer his questions about degeneracy, which has nothing to do with the debate. We're talking about which society is better.
Yeah, degeneracy has to do with society, bro. Degeneracy has a lot to do with society. It's like pretty much your entire platform talking about degeneracy ruining society. So like the technology that the West has achieved, you're saying that, well, look at all these Muslims, the biomass is at the mercy of all these technologies, the fighter jets, the nuclear weapons, whatever. But
yes, absolutely. Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. The Rage Page said you have faith that each morning you will wake up. Correct. I do not have the knowledge that I will wake up tomorrow, but I believe that I will. Based on the evidence that as of Friday, the last 36 years straight, I've woken up every day. So where is that level of evidence of God, Jesus Christ, any of those things? If you can give me something, anything, where there is incontrovertible proof, not evidence, proof of something that has happened over and 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 over again, you know, like the sun rising. Yes, I have faith that the sun will rise tomorrow because I have proof that in every day of my life and your life, and if we go back and combine all of our lives together throughout all of that time, the sun has risen every single morning. So again, when you give me that level of proof of Jesus Christ, of God, of any religion, then we can have a conversation about that. Jaja said, this dude's wife was ran through by 3 men and 3 failed marriages. He has the audacity to give opinions on marriage. And again, I don't think that's fair because of the reality of his specific marriage, but I think it is a fair criticism because of the way that he talks. Yeah, we know. Who's oh. Yeah, philosophy is not proof. So there you go. All right, we're gonna, let's see, where are we in terms of, all right, we're gonna get to the, without a donation, we're gonna get to the end of the next section, and then we're headed to the after party. Remember, guys, if you join the Discord before the stream ends, even though you are not a member, I will give you a special day pass to come and join the after party. I just dropped the link in the vertical chat. It is pinned to the landscape chat. Come on through.
Ass is at the mercy of all these technologies, the fighter jets, the nuclear weapons, whatever. But that technological progress is victimizing all of us. We're all a victim. It doesn't matter if you're Muslim, Christian, Jew, Hindu. We all are facing this.
So I have faith oxygen lets me breathe. You're tickling the basis of theology, and since that's something you can't get past, it explains it all. You're scared to think truly. So now comes the trolling. I thought maybe it was just a name, but I didn't realize that you knew what was in my head. It's crazy. Pretty special.
Massive Muslim, Christian, Jew, Hindu, we all are facing this massive transhumanist behemoth, this hegemony, and it's threatening to destroy the human race. Do you see the interview that Peter Thiel did with the New York Times? And he's talking about like the Antichrist, and he's being asked by the interviewer, do you think the human race continuing is a good thing? And then Peter Thiel, he's this billionaire, actually paused for a second, and it took him a while to answer. And when he finally did answer, he said that, well, you know, the human being in its current form, I don't know if that's something worth preserving because they're transhumanists. They want to see a future where human beings are bionic.
So making Andrew's argument for him again.
You have genetic engineering to actually have tailor-made babies based on people's preferences. You have uploading the consciousness to the cloud with Neuralink, Elon Musk's Neuralink, all of these crazy technologies that are going to be imposed on us. Remember the whole thing, you will own nothing and you will be happy.
All right, guys, that is over the 3-hour mark, so we are gonna shut it down. Big shout out to all of the donations, of course. Our boy, fucking Funk Master General, carrying the motherfucking thing. TV Viewerski came in and help with that. And we got Box with the $2 make you holler. Thank you. So very much, guys. I really do appreciate it. I know that you could be doing anything else in the world, and yet you are here, hanging out. You could be doing anything else, and yet you are here. Thank you so very much. Now, remember, every $2 that you guys have given me is now a push-up for the stream, not for the Morning Memorial Fund. So we got four donations totaling $62. That's 31 push-ups. I can do 31 push-ups. Let's fucking go. You guys have paid me. Now pay yourselves. Let's fucking go. So, all right, here's what I want to try to center this so the vertical people can see this. Let's see. Let's make this work. What if we do that? That's the center of the stream? No. We do that. What if we do that? Let's try that. Heyo, there we go. Can we see that on the vertical stream? Boom. Perfect. All right, you paid me. Now pay yourselves. If you can't do 30, do 20. If you can't do 20, do 10. If you can't do 10, do 5. Just pay yourselves. Let's go. 31 push-ups for you guys. Ooh-ah. Let's go. Let me stretch a little bit. 31's like on my upper edge. You got this. I gotta pop in a little bit. All right, there we go. So I'll go this way. Good. Vertical people, I am doing this for you. I am crawling around like a fucking moron so that you guys can see me. Gotta go this way. There we go. All right, this is as much as you get. All right, here we go. Ready? 31 push-ups. Put my hand where Morty's peed before. I don't give a shit. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, and 1 for good luck. Woo! Let's go. These puny arms will be built up in no time. Woo! Woo-wee. All right, let me drop that link to the Discord one more time to you vertical people. Guys, if you're watching the vertical, come on through. I can see who joins, and again, if you join before the stream ends, then you get a free pass. We're headed over to the after party right now. Yeah, right, exactly. What else do you guys have to do? All right, guys, thank you so very much. Again, we got our boy Funkmaster General. We had our boy TV Viewerski, and of course, Box with the big 2. Thank you guys so very much. Once again, we have Morty, the Overlord, and of course, I have been your host, Lech, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Remember, if you are new here, please do hit that subscribe. I would love to wake up on Friday and see 5 1,000 subscribers. We are 56 people away. 56 people away. That is the best thing that you guys could do. Thank you so very, very much. Remember, I'm live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and sometimes whenever I feel like it, so you never know. Hit that subscribe, and you know YouTube sucks with those notifications, so ring the bell, and you will never miss an Indian Jesus live party ever again. Once again, we've got the Overlord Morty, and I am Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Until next time, guys, we are... Peace.